Hey, okay, so we are here for version 2.0.
Nikki, it looks like the star crystal tree stored a lot of starlit crystals. Let's head to the Sea of Stars and take a look.
Ignore all this. Uh, let's teleport away from that for a second. I was doing some more messing around out here. But, we are here for what I assume to just be the Linlang Empire event. This is a good enough spot to stand, I guess. So, what do I know about the event from, like, the loading screen stuff? That there's a festival. I think that's the only thing I got through, like, my side glances as I was starting the game. We know the building that was in the preview image. There was, like, stalls, I think. And then Nikki, in the black and white costume, was sitting at a stall. I think... Oh, and there was fireworks. I don't know if that's important at all, but if it is important, there's fireworks. Other than that, the outfit. Or I guess outfits. So, I think it was the launcher. There was a girl with light-colored hair and blue eyes. And I think there was a girl in a dark purple dress. And I feel like she had dark hair. So I assume those are two banner outfits. I would say there's probably not 2 5-stars for this update. I would be very surprised at least. So I'm going to assume that the purple outfit was a 4-star. Because the one that was like a light outfit with the light hair had makeup. So I assume that was the makeup for the 5-star. Now. Oh yeah, also there was like... The light-colored dress was like spinning or something. I don't know what that means though. The white and black one, my guess last episode was that it was some kind of like wind traversal thing because there was fans around it in the picture. But I guess we're gonna find out. We're gonna start with outfits for the stuff we're looking at here. So, let's take a look. It's both, potentially. Maybe I saw... Does it, like, change hair color or something? I definitely saw blue eyes with the makeup they had on screen. I don't remember seeing dark hair, though. Maybe the outfit swaps or something. Okay, I read this. It says shape-shifting, okay. So, I guess it was one outfit I saw and not this, because I don't recognize this. There is a 4-star as well. Or is this another 5-star? Let's actually check that first so I can, like, prepare mentally what my talking points are. It's a double 5-star. Wait a second, you're the one I saw spinning. Okay, so I saw this outfit zoomed in. I swear the hair was all white. You have to believe me. And then this outfit spun around. Because there was like a circle behind her. I forgot about that. More horns. Interesting. They're backwards horns. Like the deer summoning we had in 2.0, I think? I think it was the end of 2.0 with the deer summoner. Celestial deer. Ooh, that looks like she turns into a deer. This is rough. I do not have the money for this right now. I really don't want to change into a bunch. I can probably not worry about whimsicalities because I have so many. This is exciting. Celestial deer is exciting to me. Shapeshifting isn't immediately exciting, but maybe they could do something to excite me through it. So let's start with this one so I can force myself to suffer by waiting to see the cute deer. Now, I was really not expecting 2 5-stars. That was not in my predictions here. Even seeing 2 outfits on the loading screen and stuff, I didn't think that was going to be true. What is this thing I'm looking at up here? I don't know. So, I should preface all of this with kind of a thing I talk about every time we have these Linlang Empire things. I know effectively nothing about Chinese clothing, and any cultural significance behind any of it, which is why, throughout the entire history of the game, I have struggled immensely. Anytime we have outfits like this, to talk about them and how I feel about them. And the reason is, I have a lot of trouble differentiating, because I don't know what details I'm supposed to remember from the dress. So, I see them... I guess I could probably pull up a suit... Please stand, Nikki. Sorry. I can probably pull up a, like, tiny example by just sorting by Linlang here, of what I mean. Let me get dresses, actually. So, this... I should take this thing off up here. Back up to here. So this dress, I have a lot of trouble differentiating from every other one. Because they're all very similar in my mind. I think these are the same dress. Yeah, those are the same dress. These are almost identical. Two little things in the center, two little things off to the side. And then when you look at this, it's like pretty sleek dress from the chest down. You look at this, pretty sleek dress from the chest down. This one has a side cut up, but that's the only difference. Stuff like this, even. To me, it feels close enough that I have trouble differentiating it, which means I have a hard time talking about it. I think these two are the ones I would consider closer. So, with that, I will still try my best. I'll put in as much effort as I reasonably can to try to talk about detailing on these, but it's gonna be rough. I should probably look up what the arm things are called that are extra long, because half the fancy dresses have them. I know they're like a thing that's everywhere in more traditional, extravagant clothing, so I assume they have a name, but I always just call them like the long sleeves or the big open sleeves or something, and that also feels weird. That is another problem. I tend to not know clothing type names, but it's even worse when it comes to the Japanese, not Japanese. That's like a ridiculous slip. Chinese. That is also true for Japanese, though. I know pretty much nothing. I know that kimonos and yukatas exist. Couldn't tell you what the difference is. I know that chipaos exist. Couldn't tell you what the difference between that and the other dresses I have in the game are, though. Because, again, they're all about the same to me. The only thing I know is Western clothes, which is very sad. And it's something that, hopefully, I'm getting better at very, very slowly through this game. I'm going to actually start with the 4-star, then 5-star, then 4-star, then 5-star, I think, to really torture myself by saving the deer for last. So, a whimsicality for something named Song Beyond. No instruments in the hand. Potential feathery stuff around here. Potentially in the middle of a twirl. Now, I don't know how much credence I should put on the backgrounding of her for her ability. Because we have these things here that are kind of like birds, but they're covering the whole screen, so they might have to do with the shape-shifting ability. The moon behind as well. Typically, the 4-stars on the banner have nothing to do with the background. Sometimes they do, though, because there's something that's like vaguely related between the two outfits, so they make it work. So it's possible that this has a connection to the background, but I think it's mainly for this outfit. So I think we can ignore it with the prediction. Red bird immediately brings to mind Phoenix. I don't immediately see other symbols on here meaning Phoenix. This is a mountain range, I believe. This white right there might be a bird. Very hard to tell, though. Shoes look pretty normal. I don't think it's going to be like a swan or anything either. I'm going to guess that the whimsicality is a grounded, so like no floating, no anything like that, very long dance. That's going to be my guess. It's going to be reasonably long, and that's why it's a whimsicality. Is it summoning a bird? This is I believe the island on the Danqing Island? Is it possible we're going back to Danqing Island? I did not consider that for half a second. How did that not even cross my mind as a possibility? But this is where you enter the Danqing Island, I believe. right in here is the bamboo forest, and then you come across here onto the island with a tree, and then back to the left is the village. I think. It is possible, obviously, that it's just a very similar location in a new zone. But I also do not... What was the name of the birds in the Danqing Island? It was something very strange to me that made, like, a little sense, but it was something that was hard to remember. After activating, Danqing ink feathers. Okay, it's the Danqing Island. How did I not consider going back there? Are we gonna actually meet Yuebai there instead of Duyubai? I kept talking about seeing Duyubai again. Nikki uses her fingers as a brush to paint an elegant crane, dancing alongside it and wandering together beyond the mortal world. So yeah, that I have to rethink everything, because we have our Danqing abilities back now. That's okay. I'm so glad I clicked this one first, because now I know to incorporate the ink into my predictions for the rest of the outfits. Where is this giant structure that we're going to for the party, if it's on Danqing Island? Is it possible, like, the... Oh, what was the term we used? It wasn't... I kept saying gazebo for some reason. But, where Yuebai as a dragon lived. Pagoda? Was it the pagoda? Is that what the big tower is, and I'm just misremembering what it looks like because I wasn't paying enough attention? And you're dancing with it. It's interesting because they did this while her feet are in water, which is a weird choice. Because it looks like she is floating, but it makes it hard to tell how it's happening. And the bird looks like it's flapping its wings in motion, so I assume it would be flying around in a circle around her? Again, it's running into the problem of 4 stars not having the animation, which they did fix last update, but now we're back to it not working again. I think the consistent thing is that any dance-type ability, they're too scared to show what the dance is, which is sad. Because the dance for the 2.0... The 2.0 one that summoned the Shroomlings is very cute. But I don't think it was in the preview screen. I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to really quick jump to the 4-star. Jump, jump, jump. Okay, I was looking away. It looked like there was something tentacly on the left side of the screen. I don't know what is up with that. So, are you supposed to be, like, a certain type of bird? I said originally that you weren't a swan. The thing that you summon is pseudo-swan-like, if I stretch the definition of that word enough. Resting among mist and clouds, drinking wind and dew, she grew accustomed to watching the world, long gazing towards the lantern lights of mortal life. Within moonlit grace and before branching boughs, I think it's boughs. We had this word last update. I think it's bough. A single glance has already inscribed her fate upon the scroll of the mortal world. I wonder if we will eventually get the Danqing Island connected to everyone else. If they're gonna, like, warp into Miraland or something. I guess if we have enough events there, maybe. I was saying before, during Nikki's birthday, that it was really sad that I wouldn't get to introduce Yuebai to everyone, and have her, like, I don't know, give her a tour around the world or something. If I go to the Linlang Empire, have her with me, or something like that. Or any of our friends from there. Transforms creativity into reality, adding a unique touch to the world. Same as always, whimsicality. Ink, soaring, sky, boundless lands, feeling restless in mountain veins, unfettered roaming cloud-crowned strands. So that is the bird, the white thing I was looking at earlier. I should have realized it was the Danqing Island just because the mountainscapes was such a commonality with everything in the Danqing Island, and I don't think as many Linlang Empire outfits involve mountains. That might just be because I haven't pulled on enough of them. Because I skipped Artist Cat and Yuebai's outfits. Maybe they do have more mountain theming. I think artist cat was just flowers. But I don't know. I like these shoulders, by the way. They're kind of shoulder guardy. Like, they make me think more of like the metallic arm guards I would have from my cape, rather than the cloth things, which I think is cool. It's hard to see exactly, but right there is another set of like the feathering. Oh, from the back is more obvious because you can see it continue. A lot of black for the feathers, but red for the accent colors, considering this red, not pink. Some type of like longer necklace, potentially, and a flower in the center. I didn't check the details to see how the outfit's cut up, but it looks simple enough. You just assume like it's legs, shoes, dress, necklace, earrings, hair accessory, and there's one more thing, because I think I just named 7. It's probably the both types of hair accessory. There's like the hat, quote unquote, that is just another word for hair accessory. I assume that's how it's split up. Interesting, though. And again, like the braids that are tucked into themselves is also very, very common. I tend to not like it as much. I prefer hair flowing down. So I kind of like the fact that it has the tail in the middle. But I'm not a big fan of the upper part. I think the bow is super cute compared to the circles. Again, I know the circles are a super common thing. That's a word you're going to hear a lot, is I'm going to say things are common, but they're not my preference. Ooh, I really like the heels on these. So we had heels a couple things back that I said I didn't like, that they stood out from the shoe and drew attention to it. And we have the full picture right here of what I mean. So, the outside of these shoes, I think, is really good. The inside has the problem that the other shoes did. And I don't think it's as big a deal for these because it's the inside of the shoe. You shouldn't be seeing them most of the time. But this is what I was talking about before, where if the heel stands out too much, it draws you away from the shoe and towards the heel, and heels, I think at least, shouldn't be the focal point of a shoe. Unless it's like insane heels, like Born Flawless or something like that. This, though, is really good. We have the bird here. So even though the heel is very attention-grabby, it molds into the shoe itself. So your attention is instantly drawn to, like, this rectangle here, and then it fades into you looking at the rest of the shoe, with the front being pretty neutral. I really like that. Very interesting. What is the material on these? It looks different. I don't think it's leather. Like decorated leather. It looks kind of similar to that sheen, though. I'm not sure about that. I really like this. It's a little high on the leg to use in a lot of outfits, though. I talked about this with one of the leggings we got recently. A lot of dresses in the game and skirts tend to be a little lower than this. This is a pretty high-cut skirt. Yeah, I'd say her butt's like right here. So most skirts are going to be a bit lower than this, and they're going to cut the top of this off. If you cut off the top of designs like this, they start to feel weird. Having its entirety viewable is important. If it's the whole leg with this design, you can just have any length skirt. But with these, I feel like if you don't have a really short skirt, it's gonna or very short shorts, it's gonna stand out in a bad way, which is not great. But if you can wear something that makes it work, I think it really works. You might be able to get away with... I don't know. I was gonna say if you have like a knee-length skirt, maybe just the end poking out works. This side would be pretty good. I think if you had a skirt that ended like right here under your knee, I think these would be really good socks for that, because it's asymmetry with a very, very pretty flower design. I assume it's just a flower there? Yeah, I think so. Very good, though. Flowers back here, same as the leg flowers, I think. Same with on this. Is it possible this is an overcoat? I guess we should check, because it is possible that's an overcoat. I don't think it is. Oh, there's bracelets on. That's what the 8th piece is. This is all one, like I thought. Jump past the 5-star again. I know you're like an octopus or something, but I can't look right now. Even knowing they're there, I cannot see them. It's like right there. Interesting. I don't think there's a design on them. I should have just looked when I was in the details menu. But I think they're just plain bands. Which is a weird choice to throw on here. Maybe they just needed an 8th piece and they didn't want to cut up the dress. So they were like, here you go, have some bracelets. Which is fine. Because you're not pulling for them. They're just something to fill out the slots. Because I think every 4-star is required to be 8. I know the 5-stars can be 10 to 11. I feel like there's a 9 in the game. I swear. Maybe Standard Banner has a 9. But 4-stars are always 8. So you can pull them in 40. What do I think is going to be colors for this? If it's... We're going to have a full white, is one of my guesses. And I'm going to guess that's the glow-up. It's the one that I think is most thematically consistent with the bird from the whimsicality. Would be like a white with black accents. What would a glow-up be for this? I'm gonna learn my lesson and start guessing that it's gonna be yellow, blue, or pink. Because every dress in the game is. I'm gonna go with a mid-pink. Like, pretty, like, central pink. Let's look at glow up first, though. Oh, it's the yellow. I should have guessed yellow. Very nice yellow-blue combo, though. Pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the blonde hair, though. I do really like the black. The dress itself is pretty good. The leggings, it's interesting. So in this one, you have the red. You have the, like, black, if you would call it that. And then you have this kind of gray for the detailing. But in this, it's just, like, yellow, a different shade of yellow, and then blue for the ribbons. They don't have a separate color for these diamond things, which is weird. I don't think I like it as much like that. I'm sure you could dye it separately still. Like, in the dye menu, it's probably all separated. So I'm not super worried about that. But it is a weird choice to me that you'd have the detailing be the same color as this. In terms of the dress itself, one thing that's standing out to me that I'm actually not a big fan of, and it was true on this one, but I didn't feel that way, is I think the white of the innermost sleeve should be a little darker. I think it shouldn't be full white. I think it should be a little tinted, because it's really standing out to me. This dress, even though I should feel the same way, this feels like a unit. I see this as a combination, and in this one, I feel like you're wearing a normal long sleeve shirt, and you put this on top of it. So I don't like, and I think changing that color fixes it, I think. I'd have to mess with dye to be able to actually tell if that worked or not, but that's the impression I'm getting, is it's just too light for me. Maybe I would change it to a different color. I don't know what would work best, though. But when I'm looking at this, it feels like this is an attached sleeve, not a part of the dress. The central part, I love to death. This is amazing. Color-wise, everything. Like, probably, like, just take off these long sleeve parts, and everything else of the dress, I love, like, a million times. This is really good. I think the red and black is amazing. But I'm biased towards blue, and this is a great yellow for that. So I think I can't, in good conscience, say I like the dress as a whole more, though, because of the sleeves being such a big part of the dress, and me not liking the sleeves on here. So I think this is my favorite in everything so far. The biggest jump being hair. Everything else is like kind of just slightly more than the glow up. Ooh, a purple. Oh! This is the same design. Okay, I thought I was going crazy for a second. So we have, like, lotuses in a lake or something. What is this wind up here? I think that's normally how they depict wind in this type of art style. Instantly, not the problem with the sleeves. It is a different shade. It's very slight, though, and that leads me again to believe that my problem with this outfit is just that these aren't dark enough. I think if they were slightly darker, I wouldn't have that issue. But, yeah, this is like a purple is like the slightest tint less purple. Or, I guess lighter purple is how I would describe it. Nikki pink hair, maybe potentially very, very slightly lighter than base Nikki, but it's close. And I've talked about before, I love Nikki pink. It just works with her because it's what I associate Nikki with in my head. So, I have a bias towards pink hair in that regard, that it feels more natural. So it feels undyed. Sometimes with hair, it can feel like you're wearing a wig, even if the hair itself looks good, just because you might have a mental association of Nikki not using that hair color. So it creates like a dissonance in your mind. I do like the colors for these leggings. My one concern is that this is really light now. I really like this pattern, and I think it's a shame that it's not sticking out a little better. Would I want to make it like the same color as these purples? I don't know. But I want it to be like a black, maybe? Maybe I would go like really extreme and have it be like a super dark purple or something just to stand out. Because you could kind of make it out, but I think it's a shame to lose out on that. It is pretty good color-wise, though. I do like it. Oh, interesting. Because these feathers are so thin, they look orange with the backlighting. Because you're seeing the yellow of the sunlight through them, and it makes them look like they're that color, because they're so thin. I do like the purple a lot. I want to compare the backs, design-wise. Okay, the back's the same, it's this front piece. Which, again, same problem. I know that there should be a term for, like, this cloth in the center of clothes, because it's a consistent thing in Chinese clothing I've seen in the game. So, I assume there's a name for it, and I don't know it. The shoe, the heel is, like, more pink. So, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's close enough that it's still an interesting design. I don't think it stands out too much. But it's definitely not as good as these. I think these are the best shoes by far. These shoes are okay with the gold here. These are probably my second favorite shoes. And these are my least favorite shoes, which is a shame. Is it my favorite dress? It might be. I really like the colors on this, but this is pretty good, and I like the design more. Having the potential lotuses, I don't know what flower it actually is, instead of the mountains. Now, it does lose a little bit of the bird theming, so it loses points for that, but I wouldn't be using the whimsicality most of the time anyway when I use this outfit. I would be using it in other things, where I would have this, and I'd have wings on the back. And what would I do with my legs in this outfit? I don't know. Something, feathery, I would try to find. Now, I do like the Nikki pink hair, but I think I still don't like it as much as that. I think the black really suits this outfit well. Would black look good on this particular purple, though? That's a good question. Probably. I think this section here is dark enough that black hair still complements it. Same as this. Even though this is technically like a purple, and I think this might be a red or brown. I don't know what exactly the color is. The bottom trim there is so nice. Not as good on these because it just blends white. That's really pretty. The side of the actual skirt itself. Yeah, from this side we'll be able to see a little better. Yeah, this is way better on this one, but I think overall this one takes it slightly. So honestly, with the exception of hair and shoes and sleeves for this dress, these are all really close in my mind in terms of how much I like them. I will say that this one's probably first, second, third. These two are really, really close. This one's pretty close in terms of how much I like it. Not a bad 4-star at all. One I would definitely be happy to have if I was pulling on this dress. It's not the type of thing I'd... It's the type of thing where if I could guarantee the dress itself, it'd be worth pulling a little bit. I do like it. The dress is the best piece, I think. I was thinking, if I do end up... Because something I have to keep in mind now is makeup. Doing 20 pulls for one piece of makeup. So I'm looking at this right now. Depending on how the eyes work, like what of this is face paint, or not face paint, but foundation, and what of it is eyes, and what of it is just the eyelashes doing work, it's possible I would be willing to spend 20 pulls and gamble trying to get this, and just gamble one piece of this. Right now it's unlikely, but we'll see. I guess we could look at our makeup first. Oh, cute Momo hat. He's smoking, too. It's very silly. And... a little table you look into a mirror at. I call that a mirror. I don't know if it's really a mirror. Mortal witness. 100 years pass in a blink as the monster seeks truth beyond form. Beyond the glass drifts the scent of mortal life. An old woman steeping tea, children at play beneath the sinking sun, lantern light clears the mist from its eyes. Tears wet its cheeks as it lifts its trembling hand to its face. I assume this has to do with the 5-star we're looking at. A shapeshifter? Wrong button. It's a shapeshifter who's in, like, another dimension looking out? Is it possible that we have a third dimension, assuming we're at the Danqing Island, beyond the Ink world? And they're looking into the Danqing Island from there? But not the Sea of Stars, like a different thing? I don't know. Let's look at our makeup, though. It's like, immediately this makes me think of the Joker from Batman, where he has his smile painted up on the side, which is very silly. It's almost feathery, because it's not exactly like a diamond. It twirls up and then flattens. It's interesting. This is very poppy. It makes me think of Lady Gaga and a lot of the makeup she used to do. I don't know anything about what she's doing recently, but old Lady Gaga makeup is what this makes me think of. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just very specific outfits would like it, some would not. You know, when I saw the shapeshift thing, I said to myself, I wonder if her eyes shift like her hair. And I looked at this, and I said, oh no, they don't, they're just purple. This, I guess maybe if I look really close, this looks like it might be a little darker. I think the eyebrows just really hide the eyes being different colors here. Let's look at those. It's hard to tell from here, but they look very long. Look, like right where my mouse is, I think is the end of them. So they're actually half her eye down. They hang super low. And I can see why. They're probably weigh like a pound. What insanely long lashes we have here. Cute, a little thin for my taste. Always talk about it. Love thick eyebrows. Eyes are interesting. I want to pull on them. I said a minute ago I might not pull, and then I'm looking at the makeup and I want these. I think eyes are the thing I care about the most for makeup. Obviously, they're not the most important. They're almost the most important. I think foundation's more important. I think it's foundation, then eyes, then lipstick in terms of priority. And then eyebrows probably fourth, and eyelashes are the least important. Which is good, because they're so hard to see anyway when I'm going through the menu. My impressions of shape-shifting. I'll make this assumption also on the Danqing Island theory, and we'll get in our preview here probably a video, and then we'll know for sure whether we're on the island or not. Because if I recognize another landmark, it's possible they just took a picture with this because it looked good in that area, and that we're actually going to be somewhere else. So I'm not going to be 100% set on that until I see this. But what do I think shapeshifting does? It's not going to transform you into a deer, so I assume it's no animal shapeshifting. I assume it's human shapeshifting. Would they let you be an NPC? My initial assumption is no. There is, in the game... How do I see you? I don't remember what menu you're in. These. There are the things... There's also some for makeup. Where's the makeup ones? You? Yes. There's things that randomly generate clothes and makeup for you. I had to cough there. That might be what the shape-shifting is. I actually need to take a sip of my drink real quick. My throat is not very good right now. So, I'm gonna guess that this is what shapeshifting actually means in this context. After activating the shape... Oh my goodness, my throat. Okay. Let's try this again. After activating the shape-shifting ability, choose a spirit persona to refine the shape, and it has phases of the moon. What do I think a spirit persona is? I still don't think it's animals. I think it's going to be people. The question is just what people, I suppose? It's possible it'll be NPCs, actually. Or it could be some type of, like, god or upper being, because moons are typically associated with goddesses. So it's possible we have some form of goddess. This is the Danqing Island background. I'm reasonably sure. I can't tell you where it is, though. Okay, I take it back. I can't tell you what this building is. I think that's the pagoda. Can it possibly be? I'm going crazy. Okay. Wait, it's the octopus thing I was saying when we were in the previews. What in the world are you, octopus back? Creation gives rise to what? Okay, this is the name of the island, I think, that we're on. Or it was called like this something. There was another word after this. That's why I thought it wasn't Danqing. So it's possible, again, that it's not the Danqing Island, and that lake just looks similar. So what did I say last time? I think I said Wanxiang. So I'm gonna try to pronounce it like that again. Creation gives rise to Wanxiang, with soul and form in perfect harmony. After refining shape, which is the last slide we did, Nikki will be influenced by the chosen spirit persona, transforming into various shapes. In the Wanxiang Realm, that's the word. This can be used to confuse others and trigger special reactions from certain characters. So, it is a active camouflage. But not on Nikki herself. Which is interesting. I believe, at least. So I think this thing on the back being out like this is most likely an indication the ability is in use. And the way it is, these people are doing a respectful bow. She's waving, though. That's really weird to me. Why would she wave? It's possible that she just has a personal relationship, but even still, she's in public. If this is a figure worthy of respect or worship, in public, she probably shouldn't be doing that. So that's a really weird reaction to me. So I wonder who you could transform into then. Assuming it's 4 different beings. And they're recognizable, potentially. I don't know. Oh well, we see them here. Those are different faces. Is it just different makeup? After refining shape, press T to switch to another spirit persona. Then press right-click to disperse the spirit persona and return to Nikki's original shape. When going offline, the spirit persona automatically dissipates. So it's very obviously long-lasting. It just lasts until you turn it off. Red, pink, green, blue. Very large features. Would I say soft face? I think this, no. It probably is soft. Very stern, serious. Very mature, very innocent. So mature, innocent, soft, hard is how I would describe the faces I'm seeing here. The dress itself, I don't think is changing. It's a different angle each time, so it is a little hard to tell. It is possible something is changing, because when I initially saw this and this, I thought the red disappeared, but I think it's just that I'm looking at it from a bad angle. So I'm gonna guess it is just 4 NPCs we're gonna meet during the event, and this is a representation of their face. After conjuring the shape-shifting ability, Nikki can sense specific energy fluctuations, automatically collect blings, ethereal stars. What in the world is an ethereal star? I do not know. Is this the new whim stars of the area? They're ethereal stars instead of whim stars? Because we're gonna be... Are we, like, astral projected into a world? If we're the person in the mirror and we're looking in, is it possible that... Similar to how the Danqing Island and the paint world... No, not really with how the paint world works, because you can, like, travel between them corporeally. I think maybe this one we're just a projection into the world, and we're not actually there. We might be tangible in a very literal sense of the word, but maybe, like, our soul isn't traversing to the world. Starlit shards within a certain range. Press G to disable this feature. I guess if you want to take a photo with something in the background that you don't want collected, you need to be able to disable it easily. Once enabled, the auto-collecting will remain active until you log out or disable it. And you have to remember to turn it on when you log in. So is this the animation for detection? No, I think this specific energy fluctuation just means it's collecting things. I don't think it's something you would activate. Well, I guess, yeah, you deactivate it. So this is probably the deactivate, reactivate animation. No idea what that was supposed to say at the top. Maybe it means, like... I don't know. Energy fluctuation isn't a fancy enough word for it to appear up here. It's probably something very specific for the event. This is a very interesting outfit. So it is like a NPC... interaction thing. So the idea is, I think you would switch to one, and then you would go walk around and talk to everyone, and you'd get a set of dialogue, and you'd switch to someone else in your options, and then go do the same thing. You just re-talk to everyone. So you're just getting, like, more story and context. What I will compare this to, in a lesser sense, is Nahida from Genshin Impact. She has an ability that can read the minds of people. And you can use it to get extra dialogue during quests. Now, another possible similarity between them is it's only useful in one area of the game. I think this will literally be useless outside of the event area, whatever the realm is called. If it is part of Danqing or not, I don't know, but let me actually pull the word back up. Wanxiang Realm. It's... Even for RP, it's not exactly useful. And when we look at this, This, I don't see anything that makes me believe it would only work on the island. I think this section of it, you can use anywhere. Probably. And the fact that you can just enable it and it'll be on the whole time, that's going to be really useful. The actual shapeshifting itself, well, I think, since it looks like it doesn't change your dress and only changes your face and the cognition of NPCs, will do literally nothing outside of this realm. Which is sad, but if you like the dress, if you like the story and lore implications and the usefulness for collecting more in the realm, you at least have the reward, assuming it works this way, of these things once you leave. Once the event's over, you don't just lose what you gained. You get a little something back, which is a potentially very good ability. It depends on the size of the automatic collection. But if it's at least an okay size, it's still going to be nice to have, especially with it being permanent. So, let's look at the preview. We get to see this animation finally. Mr. Tentacles everywhere. Ooh, like Galaxy Fan. Oh. Oh, it's gone. Goodbye, Mr. Fan. It was nice knowing you. Immediately, a more interesting front than I was expecting for this dress. I thought this would be a lot heavier, and it is pretty light, which I know is a ridiculous thing to say, given she's wearing 17 layers of cloth right now, but it's... I would describe it as falling back from her. So, it's like she's emerging from the cloth, which is why it feels lighter to me. I don't know if that's probably the best way to describe it, but I guess I would say, like, if you imagine her inside of all the cloth and she's about to walk forward out of it. That's how I see this. So she's shedding the cloth rather than being bound by it, is the impression this gives me. Oh, look at the heels here. It's hard to see meaningfully from the side, but it makes me think of the water riding things, where it's a board, a long stick, and then a very, like, big, like, counterbalance thing on the bottom, and you can surf above the top of the water because of the way the buoyancy and all that stuff works. I don't actually understand the way those things function, but that's what this makes me think of, which is a very silly, silly thing. And the heels might be trying to be the highest in the game because of that. It looks like they're very flat-footed, but it's just elevated because the platform is so big. So very, very tall Nikki in this. Now, I've made it very clear, I do not like when dresses rub on the ground because they're literally rubbing in dirt and filth, and they're going to be... You wear this one time, and then you have to have a servant spend 3 weeks cleaning it before you can wear it again. Because the bottom is completely ruined, and you need to get the garment maker to come back and remake half the stuff because it's all soaked in mud and trash. So this is a disaster. But moon theming. We did have the moons, but this is all like crescent with dots in the middle. It's not the multiple different phases that we had in the other thing. It's hard to know how flowy this dress really is on its own. Because, I feel like it's moving a lot more than you would expect. Like, flowing up and down as if there was wind blowing. So I don't know if the material is just extremely light. Because I don't think Nikki is breathing especially hard, or doing especially exaggerated movements right now. But it's very, very flowy. Not as flowy as the trails, but... yeah, if I spin, these aren't moving much. It's weird how flowy they are to me. Design-wise, I'm not sure what all these symbols on here mean. These on the front... like a 4-pronged thing for the chest? Looks soft. but not full fabric like this. This is interesting. The dress itself actually covers not too much. Because, like, right here's the leg cut off. So it's actually just, like, here to here. So it's, like, a pretty small dress, actually. It just has so many layers and so many things added on. I should have mentioned this earlier, I do like the open arm from having it fall down. One kind of pseudo-concern I have is that this doesn't feel meaningfully thicker than this. I think it looks slightly thicker because this part here goes higher up the arm. But I feel like this amount of fabric and layers falling down like this, it should poke out to like here. It should be like a massive bump. So I feel like also the weight she's carrying on her arm is exceptionally more here. She is actually gonna double the size of her tricep pulling this off here. This is a crazy, crazy thing to do. How do I feel about the dress itself, though? Rather than my description of, like, intents and directions, how do I personally feel enjoyment-wise and things like that for the dress? Out of the Danqing Island dresses, the only 5 stars we had so far, I believe, we tried to look at this the other day, I think the only ones we've had are Yuebai and Artist Cat, in terms of 5-star. In terms of the feel of the dress, like, when I look at it, the interest I have, I think this is the most interesting to look at out of all of them. All of them being the 3. I think it just doesn't look very comfortable. And that's a pretty big negative, because I think you have to look comfortable if you're going to wear something like this. Because if you don't look comfortable, and you're not comfortable, it's going to make everything you do painted in a light of weird feelings. At least I think so. Where I'm like, girl, just go put on something easier. So, when I look at, like, Artist Cat, she is wearing, I think, pretty much the same thing in terms of, like, weight. Like, you got 100 pounds of cloth on you, girl. But Artist Cat looked comfortable, at least from my remembering of it. It's possible that I'm just deluding myself because I love Artist Cat so much, but Artist Cat felt comfy to me. And this doesn't feel comfy. It feels, you know what? It feels like a younger girl who's not put them on wrong, but a younger girl who had someone help her put on the dress properly, and now it's falling apart because she's gone about her day and it's dragged on the floor too much. That's the reason I'll give in my head. So it's slid to the side, so her leg's poking out when it's not supposed to. It's falling down her shoulder, and it's so heavy and complex that she can't figure out how to get the pieces to stay. She's just lifting them, and then they slide right back down because it's not tight enough around her chest because this has fallen. So that adds a big cute factor to me. This adds a big cute factor of it being messy. Now, we get into the cultural talk. I don't know if wearing this type of outfit in this way has a purposeful meaning. So I'm going to pretend that it doesn't for the purpose of my discussion and say that this, to me, is a messy feel, and that makes it seem cuter. Open back is cute. There's some stuff covering it, maybe some type of tattoo, which I assume would be included on the dress rather than being body art, but we can check that. It is body art. I think, is body art what they call it? It's the new tab they just added. That's surprising and good. I like that a lot, actually. The fact that they added that new category means maybe we're going to get a lot more of this. I really like the positioning of it, too. Self-explanatory, big, weird thing that is funny. Sins and curses, I read at the bottom there. We will read the description, I guess, even though I'm not pulling on it. Dress itself, we already looked at that. Necklace, kind of like the bracelet of the 4-star. Not super stand out to me. Same with these. Is this a mask cut in half of like a tragic comedy mask from a play where it's half and half? We'll try to look at that again when we pull up the full thing. This is like the flower thing I was looking at on this, and I couldn't tell what it was. It's a culmination of a lot of things. We know now that this, I assume, is this thing. Whatever significance it has in the story, we're going to find out. But the shoes, we can see a little better from the side here. Very, very silly shoes. Oh, that's the separated cloak. Okay. So it's that heavy part. I think that outerwear actually adds a lot to the dress. So I am a big proponent of pull the dress, take off the outerwear that hangs around her, and never look at it again. I did that with Tidal Tears. I did that with a couple other dresses, where I did that with Born Flawless too. I pulled the outfit, took off the outerwear, and never looked back. I normally am a proponent of doing that. In this case, I think you don't. I think you leave this on. Even though it's crazy big and ridiculous, I think it improves the dress. Now, this hair is insanity. And it has the things in it actually in the hair piece here, rather than being separated things. Which is weird. I would very much like this hair, please. What? If I do... I know we haven't looked at the colors and stuff, so we do have to go back to look at the dress. This is going to be a 5-hour episode. I have to hurry. Definitely not making it up in time for my usual upload time, because I'm just talking way too much. I'd cry if I got the necklace or the earrings. Or, honestly, if I'm just getting one piece, I think I want the tattoo, the back, or the hair, and everything else I don't think is very useful by itself. All of them I think would be cool, except earrings, necklace. But I don't know if I'd ever use them. Let's look at the mask on the back. Oh, and it combines there. We can see the fan again. It has the symbol with the little thing and the moons as well. I didn't see the moons originally. Turn you back so we can see our little broken mask here. There's something in the center as well. The masks are flying. Black and white hair too. I'm gonna predict that we're gonna get a blue, a pink, a dark, dark purple, and a red. Blue, pink, dark, dark purple, red. Red's final one. Purple is glow up. It would be sad if that's true, because it's going to be similar to this. We're going to have blue, then pink. Glow up is a green. Probably should have guessed green. I'm getting too into my own head about blue, pink. I need to just pick one of them. Interesting. I know this one is maybe closer to lake colors, but this definitely feels more lake-like. Immediately, though, I think this is more interesting than this. And I don't know what I would want to do to fix it, because I don't want to make this really dark in here. I don't know. I think when I'm looking at the front of this, is it that the dress feels more complete? Maybe I just don't like the light colors for this dress, because I want to see it and all its layering. And light colors notoriously bad at showing layers. Everything just blends together, so even though this dress has 17 layers of cloth, it looks like it's just like 2 big pieces of cloth. You have a white one and a green one. So I think that's why I'm not a big fan. There's like a butterfly symbol back here. I didn't notice that before. I don't know what that means either. We're gonna find out whenever we do the event stuff, probably. Yellow or green back piece is interesting. The hair... I think it technically is different colors. It's hard to tell because the stuff's on it, but I think right there you can see... I think it's a little lighter, a little darker, but it's not going to be as good as this. This is going to be very hard to beat. I'm thinking the blue/pink might be blue/pink for hair, but we'll see. Let's go to number 2. Pink? Oh. So it's like a black and like a dirty pink for the hair. Dress itself is interesting. I actually have the same problem with the middle part. I don't like this being as light. I would prefer it to be darker. Maybe even the same color as this top. Whereas the really like purpley, poppy pink. I do like the pink of this. This very, very hot pink. Fading into the black, I think works okay. I think I wish a lot of it was darker. From the back, this dress isn't that dark. It's just the front, which I think is why I like this section here. Because this stuff isn't dark on its own. It's this that's making it dark. And here's the opposite. So the dress is dark. This is trying to lighten it, and I don't like that. I want it to be even darker. So maybe I will like a purple a lot in this dress. This color stands out to me. There's similar stuff in the hair, but it stands out in not a great way because I want more of it on the dress. That's why I think this section being that color would help. But let's look at the next one. Ooh, so this is the red one. This is pretty good. So this doesn't have the problems the other one has because this is all matching. So instead of fighting against the rest of the dress, it's just combining with it. So there's less visual intrigue on this dress, but the feel of the dress is nicer to me. This looks calmer. Like it fits together and is designed with the other pieces in mind, as opposed to the other ones being more of a mishmash of ideas to me. Now, do I still prefer this one? Yes. But this is a very close second. And in this one, I definitely wouldn't want this red down here. I think this being white works really well, because now, the fact that it's off the shoulders, this being darker too, it cups her, so her upper half is being highlighted. So it's all holding her up, is how I would describe this. And I don't think there's been any design changes at all, stuff down here. It looks like the same symbols. But I'm expecting at least something about the designs at the bottom to change when I click. Oh, and the hair. My perfect transition got messed up because I needed to see that it was gray and black. Still not as good as white and black, but let's look at this. It is a purple. Okay. I am going to have to fight to figure out my priority for how I like these. And we have to remember to click this because I always forget. Is it solid red hair? Instantly not a fan of the hair compared to this one and this one especially. So this gets very long, I think. The others were not that long. Wait, they were. They're just so hard to see. They're all really light. This is smoky. I feel like it's bigger. I think I'm just going crazy because it's red. These things, I think, are new. No, they're not. I'm just crazy. So, what does that tell me? It tells me I didn't pay attention to her back in the other colors, but I am in this one. Why? Is it just because I'm trying to find a difference with the fully upgraded? Or is it something visually about the colors of the dress that calls me to feel that way? I'm going to say it's probably the fact that this and this, in my mind, are similar color schemes, And this stands out a lot, and this is almost non-existent in the dress. So I think it was a larger shock moving to this one, is how I'll describe it. And part of it definitely is that I was looking for changes. How do I feel about this? There's a lot of red mixed in, which I wasn't expecting for this. I think it is true. I think I just like this dress being dark more than I do light. I think this one's cool. I think there's a lot you can do with this one for like theming and RP purposes, because I think red and white has a lot going with it. I think this is my favorite, very, very slightly over this one. It's very close. Oh, and cute short. This makes it even more baby. And I do like that. So, I mentioned that when you have this, I honestly feel it more for this one. For some reason, the lighter top makes me feel this more. The younger girl, whose clothes are kind of like falling off because they're not attached properly anymore, because she's worn them too long and not treated it with the proper movement the outfit requires. She's just not studied enough on it. Or practiced enough is what I should say. This is even more baby. This is actually a kid putting on the dress. And I feel it from the back. From the front, not as much. It's more similar to the one I was describing of the young woman. From the back, it's like a little girl who's being dressed up by her mom. And she's dressing in the same style as her mom. Like, she's wearing a very fancy outfit to go to a very fancy thing. Some type of formal event where she has to dress up. And she's being dressed by her mother. But it's all very big, fluffy stuff. And she's being kind of silly about it. That's the impression I get of this, which is a very cute impression. So mentally, I've convinced myself that this outfit is adorable. I don't think that's what they're going for in the designs, especially with how it's been presented in all of the stuff here. I don't think cute younger girl is what they're going for, but it's how I feel, so I want to make it known at least. There is also this cut in the side. Is that always there? I think it might be, but there's multiple layers, so you can't tell. This does also avoid the issue of rubbing on the ground. So, if I had this dress fully upgraded, I would use it like this, but that's mostly because of my preference for not touching the ground. I think this is a more interesting outfit. It's not as cute when it's all the way down compared to when it's up like this, but this is way more interesting, I think. So this is my favorite for everything except the hair. This is my favorite hair by like a million factor. The black and white's really good. Second favorite, third favorite, fourth favorite, fifth favorite. And the hairs, this is probably third favorite, and then the rest is all... Well, I guess this is second favorite, sorry. This is favorite, this is second favorite, and the other three hairs I'm just kind of neutral on. Wrong menu. The newly born Chroma faces walked barefoot across the wilds. Wherever their steps fell, vines unfurled. With each turn of the gaze, fireflies scattered. It was as if the world were new and curiosity naturally arose. So Chroma faces. Some type of race, or at least some type of study of people who do this type of mimicry? The majestic Lady Chroma. Chroma faces with a Lady Chroma. One spoke, observe the myriad faces of mortals, and learn the diligence of farmers, the honesty of merchants, I don't know about that one, and the manners of scholars. Though you are chroma faces, if you walk the human path, the curse will vanish. People cursed to maybe not have an identity of their own, and so they attempt to gain the identity of mortals, and Lady Chroma potentially the leader of them, but unclear whether that's because of some form of divinity she has, or a status within them due to experience. But why did the merchant carry scales? How did the healer diagnose the pulse? The market stretched in countless directions, identities intertwined in endless threads. Though holding identity scrolls, they fumbled in abstract blindness. Exchanging glances, they felt perplexed like mist over a troubled river, lost like a boat without a crossing. So it's just very hard to do what she's doing. She stepped upon the moonlight, her whole form flowing with ninefold radiance. Her presence was towering, like a newborn mountain. Her eyes were clear, like an ancient mirror that pierced the netherworld. Her horns bore the brilliance of stars, her sacred presence standing apart from the world. Where her light shone, it was like the spring wind melting snow, dispelling the Chroma Face's confusion. Only yesterday, they had still been nameless spirits. By morning, they had taken human form. Nameless spirits. Interesting. Just as curiosity faded, confusion returned. Looking around, they felt lost, uncertain where to go. Their hearts trembled, fearful that the curse might return. Though the form had changed, the spirits remained unsettled, and their steps faltered as they set foot upon a new path. So they were nameless spirits who were referred to as Chroma Faces. They learned from humans and eventually took the form of them. And they were confused and lost in their new life, because they were also scared they would return to being spirits, but potentially that's not a guaranteed fate. Maybe they can become human. Or at least some semblance of human, the same way the Danqing Island people didn't truly... Like, they're not true lives in a more natural sense, because they were created by Nikki, but they are still lives to, like, a moral sense. Lady Chroma arrived bearing the scroll of 100 trades. Within it unfolded the bustling scenes of the Linlang market. Peddlers' drumbeats echoed through deep valleys. Alleys. I cannot read today. Good thing I'm not reading too much. Tavern banners reflected beneath house eaves. I don't know what an eave is. I assume it's just the thing that pokes over the edge. Tea smoke wound around painted beams, and children's songs drifted through bamboo blinds. The livelihood of generations were contained therein, revealing the ways of which mortals made their lives and found their place in the world. The word human in the mortal world appears simple, yet conceals immeasurable depth. Clad in trades as robes and crowned with countless faces, all 7 emotions and 6 desires were gathered into a single shell. This clamorous, ever-shifting tableau? How would I say this? Tableau? I don't think I know that word. Of sorrow and joy, a scroll of fleeting lives appeared to the Chroma Faces like a dream or a play. What is the 7 emotions? I do not know them. Is that like a real life thing, or... I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard 7 emotions, 6 desires as like a totality of things. The Chroma Faces watched the 100 trades as if gazing upon a mirage. Children chased sugar paintings through the streets, shopkeepers counting beads at their counters. Calls echoed through winding valleys. Cooking smoke drifted around century-old beams. Crafts veyed in ingenuity, lanterns interwoven their glows. At the first glimpse of the mortal world, the Chroma Faces felt their senses swirl and their spirits stir. The Chroma Faces held their breath as Lady Chroma bestowed the disciples. Documents fluttered like falling peach blossoms. Some received the merchant's tokens, clutching an abacus with furrowed brows. Some took the healers, studying silver needles with focused gazes. Others received musical scores, delighted in water sleeves and crimson costumes. The thoughts of the Chroma Faces diverged. Some felt anxious, fearing their performance might ring false and invite ridicule. Others brimmed with eagerness, longing to step onto the stage and test their skills. Though their intentions differed, all bowed in reverence to Lady Chroma, firmly believing that this wondrous method would dissolve their sins and curses. So we saw that word, sins and curses, earlier when I hovered over this. So, these are souls that committed a sin and were cursed to be faceless. And Lady Chroma is kind of granting them salvation and trying to push them back into society. It's unclear to me whether they are making an active attempt to become humans again, or if they're just trying to live among humans. I don't know if that's really clear to me. Am I willing to gamba to get the eyes? Ocean's Blessing is not active. I'm not doing 100 pulls. I'm just doing 20 pulls. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to get the eyes. So whatever I get, I get. I'm going to get 1 5-star and 4 4-stars. So we're hoping to get things we like, but if we don't, I'm just paying 20 for the eyes, and I'll accept that. It was loading, I think, because my clicks weren't going through. Oh, I guess actually... No, that is my first 4-star, and it's not in 5. So I wonder if 4-stars aren't guaranteed to be in 40 pools if you're doing... I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Because it's 200 pools to get 2 copies, kind of. So I think it's 1 every 10 is how you get 4-stars when they're on the 5-star banner. So I'm going to get 2 4-stars and 1 5-star. I did know that at some point. I forgot it, though. I don't remember what we even wanted from the 4-star, by the way. I already forgot. I think it's just the dress. But we get this weird necklace thing, which, who knows, maybe one day useful. It's a little low for my liking. We can see the birds on it, though, which you couldn't see before. And... yeah, I think the dress is the main one I wanted, so... we'll see if that's what I get in this final 10 pull here. And like I said, there's 3 things we're hoping for from the 5-star, so we have... the math is annoying on that, maybe like a 30% chance to get something we want. The math's actually more complicated, because there's weird probability stuff, but... I'll say 30 and pretend that's right. Oh, we got the very silly wrist bracelets. Honestly, I'm fine not getting the dress. It's sad, but it's not the end of the world. Not bad. It's probably in like the second set. There's like the set of 3 things I really wanted. Then there's like the set of like 2 or 3 things that I would like to have. And then there's the stuff that I think would be pretty useless. This is in the set of stuff that would be nice to have. It's in that middle set. So I'll take it. We got it 1 early, but it doesn't matter because we have to do all 20 anyway. Deep Echoes, please. Give me the eyes. You have a description? Where I should read all these. Morning light lay in disarray as new spirits were born, newly entering the world, their primal senses gradually sharpened. In their first unshaped moments, even a speck of dust felt wondrous. Curiosity welled within them, fresh and unrestrained. At a turning point of fate, Lady Chroma began a path of self-salvation. To guide the Chroma Faces from confusion and open a way forward, bonds were forged through years marked by frost and starlight. Once the lanterns were lit, the long night was no longer lonely. Where lantern light thinned and shadows deepened, even Lady Chroma found her thoughts unsettled. Could the path she had carved truly erase the curse? Doubt lingered in her heart, and no other road remained. All that was left was to stake everything and move forward. Are we going to have Lady Chroma be Nikki again? Since Nikki is every being, apparently. Fate bound all who stepped into the human world. At first came bewilderment, then imitation. In time, they came to glimpse the true warmth of mortal life, carried in their joys and labors. Shared joys and labors, I think it said. After entering turbulent currents of the mortal world, many were left unrecognizable, neither wholly chroma-faced nor truly human. Living this way, what meaning did it hold? Across endless ages, the question remained unanswered. Okay, so it is like to live among, not to become, which is very different. Eyes into the world, give me you. I will happily take some heterochromatic, is that the term? Eyes. Don't look at my 131 pulls there. So, now we have these. Hopefully I'm not forced to pull on 2 banners today and lose 40 pulls. Her eyes look normal, maybe I'm safe. We're gonna look at the 4-star first. Moonlit Immortal. Immortal. It is possible that she's a chroma face, but I doubt it. If they did that, I think it would be this 4-star they would do it, and they'd swap this with this. Especially because, thematically, the other one summons a bird, and this one potentially turns you into a deer. I don't know why they're on different banners. Maybe to get people who love animals like me to be forced to pull on both banners. Respect. This is really high up on the arm. It cuts deep like this at her elbow, not her wrist. Normally that's where they start, but they flow to here and then go down from there. This one's kind of just down from here. It doesn't include the arm, which is weird. Normally that's where they start to get thick, but it starts and stops thickness there. Potentially very similar to, I think it's the birthday outfit that has this, where it's like a shorter top and a loose thing that goes up to the shoulders. Not tight to actually hold. Like the thing's just tight around the chest, so it holds there. It doesn't have straps. These are just decorative straps. But I'm trying to look for some inkling of what you might be other than the word immortal. Do I have to draw my inspiration from Moonlit? You're walking among the crowd. I'm being thrown off a lot. Wait, traces of chroma? Okay. my mind is exploding. You are the leader of the Chroma face, Lady Chroma, potentially. Why is this one called Traces of Chroma, and this one's called Echoes of Wanxiang? Moonlit Immortal. Chroma's Mortal Heart. So I guess you're not a Chroma face, you're a Chroma face. I guess that's what my prediction is going to be? And the background is walking among the town, which is what this outfit literally does in the shapeshifting. But it's understandable they have the moon analogy because that's how she changes too. So I guess you're a Chroma face, and you are not? But you're immortal, and I assume the Chroma faces are immortal. I don't think you're going to shapeshift, but what will you do? Will it have to do with the moon? I always guess whimsicalities are just movement. And I am most of the time wrong. And there's movement and a thing. So I'm going to guess that you literally summon a moon and then pray to it. After activating Graceful Dance Whimsicality, Nikki lifts her flowing sleeves and dances gracefully. Amid layers of pink silk, her sleeves spin and twirl, at times piercing the air like a sharp blade, sweeping up a storm of crimson petals. At others, they brush gently like the warm spring breeze, barely stirring the surface of a tranquil pond. So, kind of both dances for the 4 stars. And this one didn't summon something other than the things that twirl around her, which I guess does technically count. But this was closer to just a dance than I was guessing. Yawn. I want to look at that again real quick. This thing on the arm looks a lot bigger in this picture than I feel like it is here. So there's a lot more depth to it than I'm seeing in this. And click away, click away. I swear she was a deer just now. I think she does turn into one. In the corner of my eye, I saw, like, the back end of a deer. So, this central part looks very similar to one of the dresses in the early parts of this episode when I was talking about Linlang style clothing. It's close to one of the ones I have. The blue one in particular. Although this one obviously has the arm pieces. Very nice from the back, actually. I really like the texture of it. And this white that goes down there. It's not as interesting on the front. This is nice. I do like this kind of pedaled bottom. But in terms of, like, pure the dress itself aesthetic, I really like the back to sides here. This isn't as interesting, which is why they have this down here. Very fish-like, these arms. They look like the fins of a fish, which is interesting. Obviously, very cute open shoulder. I would prefer full open shoulder to the, like, pseudo straps they have going here. It looks like maybe there's a little piece here that goes up that's, like, yellow. Obviously, the big thing hanging down, which is another Linlang staple. There's, like, one or two things that are very long that hang down that I assume the things on them, or the decorations or colors of them, have very specific meanings. Hair itself, not bad. I do actually like this more than the 4-star in the other banner. And I did like the hair in the other banner because it had the thing coming down. I think what I like about this is I feel like this one commits very hard to what it is. Where it's fully everything tucked up like that. And the face is framed by these, like, pieces of the bang that come down the side like that. The necklace is interesting. I would say this is too big. From the side, it looks like, because it goes down towards the shoulder, it looks like your neck is too long, or that you're wearing something that's too big for your body. From the front, I don't get that at all because it tucks down, so you have, like, a chin angle here. From the back, same thing. It's just a problem from the sides, I think. Can't quite tell. Looks like maybe there's, like, a crowning thing to the front of the hair, and then it goes forward all the way. And I assume this ribbon is a separate piece. Let's look at the separate pieces real quick. Just to make sure it makes sense to me. Yeah, hair, arms, shoes, the crown thing. Pretty normal. Same thing where it's, like, weirdly simple thrown-on bracelet. Neck thing and dress. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Skip the deer. Again, I was staring over here, so I didn't look at it. I swear she's a deer. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I like it. And I think I like it because I made the fish connection. Seeing these as very fishy, I like, but that's just because I like fish. Back's not bad. I think I'd like it more with a different necklace. Because this stuff hanging down, I think, is cutting up the back more than I would like. Overall, I think the dress is really good. The hair's okay. And the arm things are super good, too. That's where I currently sit. I didn't guess the colors. It's been a while since I made that mistake, actually. Well, now we have two points of reference to guess the third color. So now we're going full water theme instead of the pink. I do like the hair, but I think I like that one more. The dress itself, again, it's like, it's closer to the water theming that I'm saying. But I don't feel very inspired by it. Now, why is that? Let me look at this one again. I don't think there's a particularly big difference in terms of detailing. There's not any big jumps where one piece is colored that didn't used to be. I don't think these being black is a substantial issue. The back might be a little more interesting because it's framed a little better, I think, with the super dark compared to the super light. Same with this down here, you can see it a little better. I think this is just coming down to I personally prefer this type of dress with this type of pink. And I like this one substantially more than I like this. And that's kind of a problem, because I can't really articulate why the way I normally try to. Because I don't think I have any real issues with this dress. But something about this one speaks to me personally, so I guess what I'll say is I think this one is slightly better than this one, but personal preference for this one is a lot higher. I think that's how I'll choose to describe this. Now, let's not click this before I make my prediction. Pink, and then, like, a bluish green. So, options I'm running through in my head are, like, a white still. Like a white and yellow. And, like, a red. I don't think we're gonna get, like, a super, super dark one. I'll go white-yellow. Oh, white-purple. Interesting. Very, very similar vibes here to the red and white 5-star from the other banner. Where it's, the lower half is very light, and then it has, like, the framed upper half by where the white, like, in this case, rather than cupping it, it's a line. There's a cutoff where she changes. Back is very poppy. I think the darkened shoulder things here actually really help the back there. I think that helps a lot, actually. That makes the back feel a lot better. I kind of like that. I don't like it as much on the front, though, which is bad. On the front, I prefer them light, and on the back, I prefer dark, which is a nightmare situation, because you just can't do that unless you have it change color halfway, which would maybe be weird. Interesting. We don't see many super, super white, bright dresses with purple accents. At least I feel like I don't. Maybe I should start dyeing things more like this. I just don't have good dye of this type of purple. I do like this. Now, I like it in a similar way to the 5-star on the other banner, where I think it's really interesting. There's a lot you could do with this, but it's not personally attracting me the way the other ones are. I think I will say it's more interesting than this. So I think I'm gonna put this whole thing as my favorite. This all except the hair as my second favorite. And then this is my least favorite, but not by much. The hair is my second favorite. Honestly, not a bad 4-star. And fun, not very useful whimsicality, but no whimsicalities are meaningfully useful. They're all, some of them pretend to be useful, which is cute, but they're not like real abilities. Which is fine, they don't have to be. Whimsicalities are whimful. They are fun. Now, my 4-hour episode getting through all this, we have to talk about potentially a pretty serious one here. Celestial Deer. So from going into the preview and clicking on this, we know that I think she does literally turn into a deer like this picture. This is like kind of a centaur deer. It looks like she maybe has her upper body, because this looks like an arm. It's hard to tell exactly, but it looks like she's facing backwards. But she has an upper body. So maybe like here down turns into the deer. This front section is short enough that it could potentially still hang down over the front of the deer. So that is possible. What in the world does the giant circle behind her mean? I don't know. It's too big for me to classify it as a halo. Because you can have halos that are behind the head instead of above it. I know typically you associate halos with above the head most of the time, Although I don't actually know where that comes from. Maybe angels in particular? Because when I think of religious paintings, I always think of the golden glow. That's not exactly a halo, but that feel, which is shown from a light behind the person's head. It's got really interesting designs on it too, like robotic almost. And if I'm to assume Chroma's mortal heart, and that makes you a deer, I don't know what being a faceless spirit coming to the human world to learn from them makes you a deer. Or what sin you committed to become a deer. I do like your horns. I'm worried when I look at them that they're gonna have a bunch of random stuff thrown on them and make them, to me, not very useful. I assume this is a separate piece. It is possible it's all tied together, but I assume it's a separate piece. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna put out there, I think she won't fly as a deer. That might seem like it came out of nowhere, but I associate celestial beings with, flight. And deer, I think, is common in this sense, where a deer will jump between, platforms in the sky. Like, they'll jump and their feet, or hooves, I suppose I should say, will land on air, and then they'll keep jumping on air. I'm gonna say that this is literally on the ground walking. I said in my predictions that the 4-star dress we would get for free that was in the previews, assuming I'm correct about that, the black and white one, would be a wind-based traversal outfit. This, I assume, is going to be the upgrade of that outfit, and which means it'll be for like some puzzles or something that involve wind as well. It does fight against my flying thing to say that. But maybe she just like runs really quick and it pushes wind around? I'm gonna say it's literally for sprinting through the world, kind of like I use Gigantification for in Land, where it's a very fast way to travel through the forest, and I think she'll run in a hoppy manner, not in a serious, like, sprint, where she'll kind of, like, frolic and hop. In the Wanxiang Realm, after activating the Celestial Deer ability, Nikki transforms into an elegant deer and freely soars across the world. Soar. This is a straight-on picture, but I swear there's a set of legs there that might interpret that her butt has moved further behind her. And yeah, it is like her looking backwards. So the dress is long enough that it hangs down. I'm worried it's going to be like a really cursed-looking morph, because it really depends on the color of her skin when she's transformed and how the dress flows on her. We're gonna see, though. Again, I want to see from the side, kinda. She is hoppy, and she's literally doing the thing I said she wouldn't, which is, I don't know why, this is a very common trope. For deer to jump on sky platforms. That's literally a thing in, like, every media I've seen with deer. I guess it must be based on folklore. There must be, an association with deer like this. Press the dash button to dash forward, and I'm gonna assume this ability, just like, Yuebai, only works on this island, which, by the way, is definitely not Danqing. So I wonder if that other picture was taken on Danqing, or it's just an area that's very, very similar to the intro to Danqing Island. Because I do not recognize an island like this. I mean, mountain like this. There was definitely... What is that in the background? What am I looking at up here? Is that a floating island? What is that? Okay, anyway. Press the dash button to dash forward. Press the dash button a second time during the first dash, and make you perform a swift dash. Pressing the dashing button a third time after the second dash is a high-speed super dash. Okay. There's an indicator over here with a countdown, so let's pay attention here. Okay. Just walking, dash. Super dash. Super duper dash. Hold on. So the dash is, like, 2 to the right. So, dash, dash, super dash, turbo dash. Okay, so your dashes are 2 jumps, and I'll use the real term. So, dash is 2 jumps to the right, swift dash is a jump to the left and the right, and super dash is a twirl to the right that lands left. Speed-wise, it looks a little faster. I'm trying to look at the ground to get a reference. It's definitely significantly slower than Yuebai's dragon in terms of movement. And it's hard to tell up and down momentum. So let's see if the next one talks about that. While performing a super dash, Nikki resonates with energy within the Wanxiang Realm, entering the celestial state. While under the state, all dashes become super dashes. So once you super dash once, you get super dash forever. Holding space charges a cloudward leap, propelling Nikki straight into the clouds and automatically activating celestial state. So you could gain height, and then you just keep your super dashes. You don't have to redo your dashes to begin with. Ooh, we get a really good look of Nikki during this animation. So, hold on. Let's start from the beginning here. Up. Like a sprint as she was going up. I think her dress ends right at the back. I don't think it carries onto her back at all. It hangs down in the front. And then, obviously, she doesn't have any privates or anything. For obvious reasons. Because if she had to wear underwear and shorts or, like, a long dress or something, it would look weird and not like an animal. So, this is just the correct, in my opinion, at least, option, is to just avoid trying to dress her and just make her like a special creature that doesn't have reproductive organs. Because it's just simpler. It makes your life way easier. She also has some type of, like, weird mark or metal plate on her hind legs at the top here. While transformed into the Celestial Deer, Nikki can control her flight by adjusting the movement direction and camera angle. To lock flight altitude while changing the camera angle, enter the ability options. Okay, yeah. So I think that's also how the dragon worked, where you could camera control, or you could use like space to go up and down and stuff. I normally prefer camera control in games, but it does kind of depend on speed and feel. This is a really good view of the side. Okay, this is what we were waiting for here. So it's not just on the legs, it's like all the way up the back. Interesting. She has a big metal ring here too. After configuring Celestial Deer ability, press G to disable the Celestial Deer vision. Quickly locate and mark chests in the world. Interesting. She's in Itzaland, isn't she? Where is she in Itzaland? Are you on Shell Island? Is this Shell Island? I think that's the area that has nothing on it. That keeps saying every event is going to be in that area, and none of them are there. I swear, one day it's going to happen. Well, is that the Shell Island design? I think it is. I think that's the Stylist Guild. Yeah, and there's a recycler. I think this is Shell Island. I don't look at Shell Island on the map enough, but there's the other dock. While Celestial Deer vision is active, chests are highlighted with rising light. Oh my goodness. What is the range of that? Open the map to view their marked locations. Celestial Deer vision will gradually fade over time, and the chest indicators on both the map and in the world will disappear. I assume you can just reactivate it, and it's not like a 30-minute cooldown or something ridiculous. Flight, Cloudward Leap, and Special Dash abilities are only available within the Wanxiang Realm. When using the Celestial Deer ability outside the Wanxiang Realm, it will transform into a deer and walk around on the ground instead. So you get the best of both worlds. She's also not technically on the ground, because you can see that she's still jumping. It's just not up in the air. You get the best of both worlds, though, where you get what I said, which is the deer will run on the ground hopping, and you get the thing I said it wouldn't be, which is the sky hopping. So I can pretend I was right. I did not guess the chest thing at all. I should have, though, because I assumed this ability would only work in the Wanxiang Realm. This is surprising to me. The fact that you could transform. That's why I was so surprised to see the chest stuff work outside the realm. But this is nice. Currently, I do pretty much everything in Land as a giant. I run around everywhere as a giant. Depending on how this controls, because it looks like it might be a little floaty, it could get you stuck and cause weird issues. I assume you can turn pretty quick. Like, I'm watching the camera at this turn here, and I'm going to try to track on the ground if she's holding momentum, like if she's oversteering. Or I guess she'd be understeering in this case. No, it's oversteering. It looks like she might be like slightly oversteering around the turn. It's hard to know how serious of a problem that is. If she's really holding momentum when she runs, it could make traversing this area of the map, like if you wanted to go up those steps, it might actually be hard to land the turn. It might not follow your camera tightly. Let's see if the flying one shows that any better. That's pretty tight. I don't get that impression there. Let's see what our final tab here is. After enabling the static display effect, transforming into celestial... What in the world's that animation? I'm not looking at it. Transforming into the celestial deer while standing still will cause Nikki to hover in place, showcasing the deer's elegant ethereal stance. This effect can be turned on or off in the ability settings. Okay. So, you turn it on and you, like, pose for a photo in, like, super elegant pose, like they said. And this one, look at that. That is insanity. So, by default, you'd keep that off always. But if you want to take a picture as a deer, you would turn it on. Now, you won't be able to pose, obviously, as a deer, so that's the only pose you could do other than Nikki standing, which is just like this. So, for photo taking as a deer, you pretty much have to do that. I'm scared. I really want this. Like, really badly. And I can come up with 1,000 ways to justify it. I can say the chest thing is useful, because eventually I'm going to 100% the game, and I don't want to have to use the external map thing, because I think it's kind of boring. Like, I'd have to use it for, like, very niche chests, probably. But just general exploring, having the chest thing would be fun. It's not exactly useful, because chests aren't very useful, honestly. You get the sketches from them, but most of the time chests are purposely placed in obvious locations. Only some chests are hidden. I didn't understand... Let's rewatch this and see if I understand what the giant circle on your back is for. What does that do, girl? I think it's still there. Yes, it is. I don't know, I guess it's just an aesthetic thing. I assume you can't change what you look like as a deer at all, by the way. I should mention that. What colors is it? Hold on. I think she's got the yellow on the whole time. Except for this, where she's pink. So I assume pink is probably the final upgrade, and that gets, like, this ribbon around the back that I think wasn't there before. Yeah, right here, see? So I think this is the 4th upgrade is pink. Which is a problem, because I probably would want pink. And I'm not pulling 2 of these. I do not have the currency for it. How much currency do I have? I can't click store. We're 2 hours into the episode, I've only looked at the dresses. And I haven't even gone through the preview of it. Okay. Is this all cut up in a way that looks very obvious to me as my quick scroll through? No. Something's weird about the back. What is this? This is an upper back thing that shoots out. Everything else I think makes sense to me, so let's try to keep that in mind. Oh, I want to see it more. It is very nice. My initial first impression is that I'm not super sold on this yellow, though. I know it's like a sunlight theme. I don't know. For some reason in my mind, I'm thinking I want the dress to be longer if it was going to be yellow. I have no idea why that is. I guess I associate, yellow and white with royalty, and I associate royalty with more modesty. So longer things that cover your legs. I think that's why. Hair is cute. It's like a flip back. This, makes me think of like a bird rather than a deer. So, I think there's not attachments on the horns, but there's like separate types of horns. There's ethereal horns and real ones. So it's not as problematic as the 2.0 4-star Spirit Deer Summoner, where that one had a lot of accessories that were attached to it. My impression of the armbands, they're separated just like the one right here. I guess I should double check. They are actually fully separated, right? Yes. I would probably take them off and replace them with something slightly smaller, but maybe still flowy. But again, that's my personal preference, that I don't like the long down sleeve things that are in all these dresses. So when I can remove them, I normally do. Now, I saw this when we were looking through our details a second ago, and I did not know what I was looking at. We know the deer has this on the leg, because we can see that in the preview thing. I don't know what it is, though. Like a weird planet ring around your leg. Also, wait, barefoot? Or is that your shoe? I guess that has to... One of these is your sock, and one of these is your shoe, because I think they're separate pieces, right? No, they are the same. So you have to be feet, because otherwise Nikki would have her pink slippers on. Does something here show me the slippers? No. Down here? Where's your socks? There, those. Right there. I lifted my hand and pointed at my screen. I was so happy I found them. So those are shoes. Yeah, there's our big band thing. Interesting. I don't know what they are or why. So no socks at all for this, which, again, it makes sense to be barefoot. Similar to the Itzaland thing, where it just makes sense to not have shoes, or to have shoes that are very dirty or naturey, and same with socks. Just because you're out in the woods all day. That's what deers do. This deer appears to be civilized, though, because she's coming in a place where we're having a festival, so I don't know what... She's also walking around the festival with her friend. I want to look at the back of this, though. Yeah, it cuts off where the white is. That's important. Yeah, so this part down here disappears, and this part at the front stays how it is. So that is what I predicted would happen. I just wasn't sure if this would sit up on her back, or if it would disappear, but it just disappears. Which is fine. I think that works. Like I said, I think the way they did it is probably how I would have done it. I think it's, like, the easiest and most reasonably correct way to have a centaur-type transformation. Where the dress covers the front of the body, but then you leave the back of the body as, like, a mythical animal, where you can just kind of leave the back part naked and it doesn't matter. You don't need anything serious back there. So I think that works, like I said. This here is the thing I don't understand at all. It's shooting moons. What am I supposed to take from this? I don't know. It's like swirly here. It originates from her back and shoots colored moons out to the side. Same with this big thing here. I still don't know what it is. It's on fire. It's on spirit fire. Some type of symbol here. Not much design-wise on the dress itself or the arms, to be honest. Everything is in accessories. There is this long chain here. But this is, I guess, the opposite of dresses we've had recently, where the accessories are kind of thrown on, it feels like, and they're like afterthoughts. This one, it feels like the dress is an afterthought. and the accessories are the entire thing, which is a really weird switch up. I don't necessarily hate it. Same with the dress stuff, because if a dress is the important thing and the accessories don't matter, you can just put different accessories on. With this, if you don't like the dress, you can just put a different dress on. Now, I assume this dress is forced when you are in the form. So the only time you would see it is probably during the animation where Nikki jumps into the air. Or when you summon the treasure, actually. Where's the treasure summoning one? Ooh, summoning it does put you in the form. But afterwards, you probably have like a second or two where you just stand there. Where's the... Here it is. Over here, I think she's going to change into it. Oh, she doesn't change into it at all, actually. That's surprising. I don't know, though. Also has the patterning up there. I don't know when this dress would appear. I guess it is after you untransform. You'll be in this for like 2 or 3 seconds. And that's the only time the dress would be there. And when you're in your transform state, you can't edit your outfit, would be my guess. That's what I'll go with. Now, in terms of the colors, this one here is pink. Almost 100% guaranteed that that right there is pink. I think we're going to have a red. I think we're getting a blue. I think we're getting a blue and a pink. I said I wouldn't do it anymore. I'm guessing it. What's the other one? Green. I never, ever, ever guess green. This is green. That's the pink. That's such good news, actually. Wow, I really like the flames up here. Like, the whole circle thing, I think works really well with this pink and, I guess this is blue? Probably? Wow, the whole dress. I am in love, actually. What is this? I do have a preference against yellow, which causes me a lot of problems in the game. But this is amazing. I do like pink a lot. Second favorite color. Favorite's blue. Interesting that the leg thing doesn't change that much. Like, the stuff here is still kind of yellow. This thing changes color, the ring, but the actual, like, shoe part of this. The moons are a slightly different color. Also, it feels like harder to see. Yeah, these are really bright. These are very, very dim. Still not a huge fan of the arms, but I think I just like the dress so much that I like the arms complementing it. So I wonder if you glow it up, it probably does change the color of you in the deer form. Horns are pretty good. Do really like the horns, too. Wow. I didn't notice the part that hung down here. I assume it's attached to the horns? Not like, the hair or anything? I think we're I don't like the hair too much. I would change the hair. So probably one of the other colors in here. I assume something in here is going to beat this, but I can't think of what it would be right now, unless there's, like, a light purple. Let's see what this one is. This is red. Okay. I did expect a red probably in here. Makes sense. Fiery. Hair's not bad for the red. Honestly, I think they normally try to go for fancier hair on red, but just like some brown hair. This might be slightly tinted green. Honestly, even though I like the fiery aesthetic, I think this fire is a more interesting. Like, the purple fire compared to the red fire is, like, an interesting thing to look at. The moons are somehow, every click, the moons are getting harder to see. They hate your moons. I'm appreciating them more and more as I look at this dress. I think it's a really, like, funny and cute thing that I don't understand at all. But horns are obviously super cool. Red horns, I mean, come on, they're cool. Dress itself. Am I crazy to say I actually might like the yellow more? I think this has character. I think that's why they made it #1. Even though I don't think it's fun to look at, because yellow is a pretty harsh color to see. It has character. And this speaks to me. This is very fun. This is, like, kind of cool, but I think it's trying to be cool. And that's giving me, like, some weird vibes. So I think pieces of this are cool, but the dress so far not speaking to me. Like an ice. Interesting. Okay. I don't hate that. White horns, pretty good. How do I... Not bad. I'm not feeling inspired when I look at it. This one is inspiring. That's why I'm actually really warming up to it. This one speaks to me personally, kind of like we had with this dress. Wrong button. We can see this again. Can I see it as another color? The deer body stays the same, it's just the dress. I didn't expect the deer body to change. I should have said that. If I didn't, maybe I did say that. It's just the clothes I expected. So that matches my expectation. I don't know. I like ice aesthetics. I think it's more interesting than the pink. It shows the detailing better, because these lines are all different shades of pink. So you can't tell where it starts and stops, where details are. This one, they highlight with the dark purple, or dark blue, whichever it is, and the rest is this light blue, whitish color. So this one, I think, is just better. I'm still really attached to the pink, which is a good thing if I'm pulling on this, because it means I just get it, because it's a glow-up. And this is unlikely. It's 220 pulls. I have to spend an extra 40 for this. I don't know. I think this one's cool. I said that and then realized afterwards I wasn't trying to make a ice pun. But I think it's cool. This one's cool in, like, a battle sense. This one's cool in, like, an interesting sense. But I wouldn't describe them as things I'm, like, drawn to here. This one I'm drawn to because I think it's adorable. This one I'm drawn to because I think it's really interesting. And inspired is the term I used earlier. If this isn't pink, what in the world are you gonna be? You're the green! Why is there a mountain range behind you? Girl, that is not normally there for anyone ever. Are you the first character to ever have a different background? I don't even know what to think about that, or what that implies. I just looked up. Is this like a... Is this a symbol in Buddhism? I feel like I've seen this before. I don't know where. Is this a religious symbol from Buddhism? The dress itself, I don't think there's any change in the detailing on that, unless the chest changed? No. Okay, dress is the same. How about the horns? Horns are the same. Okay, so the different thing... Okay, is this flame coming off the same? It is. Okay, so I think the thing in the back and whatever is going on over here is the only difference. Until I click this. Will this make the dress long? I guess maybe it will. How would that work for the deer, though? Would it just lengthen the front? What is... Let me go to the other 5-star and make sure they didn't add a background and I was just being a silly potato. They did not. What in the world? Girl, what are these mountains? Okay. I guess it was good to check there's nothing special about the deer on that one. I guess let's click this and see how it changes. Oh! It just makes the stuff... Why are the mountains disappearing too? I don't know what the mountains are. It makes this smaller. It pulls it up more, kind of like our koi fish dress, is what I'll call this. And it makes the horns tiny little baby horns. It's very cute. I do like big horns, though. The colors as well. My feelings about this one are complicated because the thing in the back is obviously the centerpiece of the entire outfit. And it's so interesting. I swear I've seen it before. It must be from some type of legend or something. Or some type of religious text. And that's where I've seen it. The hair is interesting. I like the highlights being so light with the very dark hair. I do like that. I don't know. I'm getting butterfly vibes from the dress, which isn't a bad thing. I like butterflies. The colors themselves, though, I think are interesting, because it's like almost like a peach, like a pale peach, down into, like, I don't know what I would call that, like a weird off tan, into like a yellow-green, into a white, into a purple. There's my colorblind take on what all of those colors are, by the way. So, you can see just how far off my brain is. This is interesting, but I don't know how I feel about it. I think it matches this really well, but if I didn't have that, and I just had this stuff, I don't know if I like the colors. What is the idea behind the colors? Let's read this and see if it tells us. She once held only a single thought, believing the living warmth of Linlang to be the only vessel for salvation. Thus, she poured forth her jade essence, exhausted her radiance. She's a god. And reached beyond desolation. From emptiness, she sought to raise a city, shaped its robes and crowns, and carved anew a vision of the human world. Is Chroma's mortal heart. Wanxiang is the name of the variant. Let's read the base one too. It's probably important. Mountain mist brushed lightly against jadeboard form. Morning dew seeped into nascent spirit. From clear stream and forest haze, jade took shape and true essence stirred. Gentle luster spread across verdant peaks. Soft radiance drifting among the clouds, the breath of mountains and rivers unfolding her like wind in an embrace, half awake, half dreaming, aware yet unknown. We're gonna go read all the individual pieces. And the makeup. Because I think that's a better way to get the story than these normally. Because it's broken up into segments that are a little more concise. I should be reading all these. I think I'll go through maybe next episode. Because I think I'm going to pull one this next episode. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to sleep on it and see how I feel. But there's a good chance I do. Just to get one copy and then use pink. And I'll probably get this naturally. But I'll go through and read these two. Because I didn't read them on the other one. So we'll read those things all next episode probably. I want to say what my favorites were. This is my favorite, although I don't think it's objectively the best. I think it's just personal preference pushes it. It's probably like the third or fourth in terms of objectivity. This is my second favorite. That's crazy to say. It actually is crazy. I did not expect it. I think it's just... I think it's correct. Maybe that's the term I'll use. I think this might be what it should look like. And then this is just my personal love of pink. This, I think, is really good. It's nice to look at, and there's a lot of stuff to look at with it. This one is interesting, but I think it's helped a lot by this, rather than the dress itself holding its own, which brings it down. If this was on a dress with a more interesting and likable color scheme to me, it would be higher in the rankings. And then this is my least favorite. I think there's just not much going on. I think it's a pretty boring one is how I would say it is. It would be useful to have this. I might use that on like a random outfit. Honestly, same with this. The fact that this is so light might actually be a benefit if you're using it in a dress that is fancy and ethereal, but not poppy, which is like a weird thing to say, but hopefully you get kind of what I'm going for there. But, I guess we should set this if I am pulling next time. What do I care about the most in the whole set? I do like the hair. It's alien hair. I'm gonna put the horns on. Sure. Let's look at the deep echoes. Oh, another one of these. And something else, whatever that is. Shimmering gift box. I think this is the same dialogue every time for the gift boxes. Whispers from the deep sea. They can be heard as you draw near. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think that's the same always. So you probably do like a little dance where you run back and forth across the sky. And this is probably the same thing, but without the camera controls. Because this, when you use these, I think it gives you like certain camera controls. So maybe it's the same, or this is like a shortened version where you do... Actually, is that the pose? Why did I click that? I want to click this. This on the left kind of looks similar. Like one arm up, the other down, looking off to the side. And then let's look at the deep echoes. Her arms are different in this, but that might be that it's this thing here. That looks like it might be arm up, arm back. So maybe that's the pose from the settings menu. Now let's look at the makeup. We'll read this, then we'll go read the individual pieces afterwards. So flip-flop of last time. Wow, those are some super, super bright lips. Its spirit first awakened and the jade gradually condensed. Its essence was clear as melting snow, its form like a polished moon in the forest. In that moment, the morning haze had not yet dispersed, and the mountain light contained a gentle halo, just like the first moon rising over the peaks, lightly tapping the jade, and stirring inspiration. It's... what animal am I thinking of? Well, it's also vampire-esque, which is kind of funny, because it looks like fangs. Is it like a spider mouth? Is that what I'm thinking of? It looks very non-human. Not in a deer kind of way, either. I couldn't tell you what a deer mouth looks like, but I'm going to say with reasonable confidence it's not that. It could be, though, and I am crazy. Oh. Like yellow or green, there's something under the left eye. We'll look at the big picture when I'm done reading this, and we'll see if I can make out a little better what the foundation's like. Soon the golden sun split the dawn, crimson clouds spilling over the mountains. Chromatic jade gleamed with glossy brilliance, as if shattered stars had poured from the Milky Way, or the heavenly maiden's tears had crystallized into light. Was it a chance to fall of star... Wait. Was it a chance fall of star rain? Or a reunion shaped by fate? Nikki's actually gonna be another god. So... they were using capital H, her, to refer to the deer spirit earlier. Now, I'm going to assume that the deer is referring to Lady Chroma specifically in this segment of Reunion. Now, knowing Nikki, I'm going to say that either Miss Chroma or the deer is Nikki in another life or time. Because, honestly, at this point, who are we not? We're Artist Cat, we're Nikki, we're a friend of Icarus, we're everything. We live everywhere. We're like 10 different people at any given time. Really quick, I do want to try to look at that. It's way too far away to look at the makeup. Never mind, I thought the picture was closer. I clicked the third one as if that was going to bring up this menu in the third slot. Chromatic colors appear hidden within the jade. First, blue like spring water, then red like sunset clouds, raising brows purple as mist, lowering eyes blacker than the deep night. From every angle, light circulated as if 1,000 years of dawn and dusk were captured in a small spiritual object. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on with the eyes. It looks like there's a weird texture around the outsides of them that's not just the white of lights. like a spikiness to the outside of the eye. Deer Shadowed Creek. So maybe it's like a plant bed where there's like a little bit of like stuff around the outside that's supposed to be grass? I don't know about that. A gentle breeze brushed the jade, a few rays of light lingering, absorbing the warmth of the sun, merging with the river's moisture and carrying the distant mountain's flower fragrance, and the breath of the empty valley. It slowly rippled into the jade's soul, simmering the crystalline essence formed over spans of time. I think it's like green fade into purple. Not bad. She sensed an unusual aura in the breeze. Atop the cliff, clouds rolled. A jade figure stood alone, emitting their clear radiance. Their breath was warm like spring sun melting snow. Their spirit was as distant as autumn fog over the river. They held the stability of mountains and valleys and embraced the fleeting sorrow of insects and plants. The stability of mountains. Is that not... Was that the description of this, or was that the description of the makeup for the other outfit? Beyond destination. Temple bells. Let's double check that. Just skim reading these super quick. No. And it wasn't in one of these pieces, right? Down here? Because that seems like a phrase I remember being said somewhere. I don't see it here. Is that it? Ninefold radiance. Her presence was towering like a newborn mountain. I think that was the line I was thinking of. So it is describing looking at her. Let me reread that now with that context. An unusual aura from atop the cliff where she stood, with warm breath, and they were a spirit, or that their spirit itself was very distant, but very solid, which is something you wouldn't expect to hear in reference to a spirit, is some form of stability, because normally they're seen as very fleeting. Sorrow of insects and plants. Interesting. And what's the Momo one? Oh my goodness. Roman deer Momo. You have like a... I would describe the outfit Momo's wearing as like a Roman soldier. Like a white, short-skirted, gold-topped tunic. So I think Momo's going off to war. I don't think he's going with us to the Linlang Empire. I think he's staying in Eastland and fighting in the Colosseum. That's what I think this Momo outfit's telling me. And that he's a deer for some reason. But we don't worry about that. I love that for him. Now I want to read this stuff. Across the layered mountains, all things breathed as spirits slowly condensed into form. Shapes and souls first emerged upon the living wind. Morning dew reflected a pale glow, light brushing softly over the body. Jade hues spilled and flowed as if crawling dawn's first drops, awakening with early light. In that hazy interval, spirits circulated. In a moment of half-dreaming, creation stirred awake. When did the meeting occur? Though the moment blurred, the realm endured. Only the softness of rustling wind was remembered in the hush of sunlight, as though arriving anew in the world, everything freshly born. In a sudden, intrusive blessing, all the stories of the world began from that instant. Measured by wind, she saw all things as one breath. By tracing breath through form, she knew all beings as drifting clouds. Then suddenly one person appeared, steps light and unbound, stirring a single, gentle vortex within the circulating breath of the world. Deep within awakened clarity, the thought remained unvanished. I want more context about that line, so hopefully I get it reading here. A still pool mirrored the heart as ripples arose, then lightness lifted. Breath warmed in gentle waves, again with the warm breath. All forms shared one breath, yet the single thought crystallized. The fleeting glow of countless beings faded, and only that one figure remained distinct. Though their rhythms differed, the familiarity felt ancient, in the unseen closeness and distant entwined, lingering like a wandering past dream. So I think that also does kind of help me clear up here that she is talking about, I assume this is Lady Chroma? Lady Chroma could be one of the faces we shift into, though. But I feel like this is going to be Lady Chroma, and this is going to be a god we don't have a name for yet. I don't think Lady Chroma mentioned her. So I think this is like a god of creation, because they keep referencing things that make me feel like that. Rather than the god of a concept, they might be the full-on god of the world itself. And the Lady Chroma is potentially a being of outside that world. Because I had the ideas of like astral projection and things like that leading us into the world. That was one of the things I talked about early in the episode. And her not being real potentially. So like some kind of outside force influencing it, and then this is a god that created the world being influenced? Yes. Nature carried spirit essence, deeply hidden. Mountains and forests held great beauty, yet spoke no words. The abundance of creation and the fathomless seas, the grand sky and earth blazed into view. What the divine heart was drawn to was a single instant, one startled glance, and a wish to exhaust all ages within it. Exhausting all ages within it makes me think, like, just to be with them for eternity is what it's saying? In a trance-like instant, a pure breeze passed through, and the mountains came into focus. Jade light flowed like a stream, tinting the forest with newborn green. Like a clear spring mirrored the moon, where spirits first stirred and ripples appeared. The jade reflected the morning glow. The 7 orifices slowly opened, and 5 senses growing lucid and bright. The only thing I can think of when I read that is the gates from Naruto. Which is a weird connection for me to make there. Inspiration awakened, still veiled in drowsy mist. At first, the contours of mountains and rivers were felt. Then came the knowing of dawn and dusk, and gradually a clear, rhythmic breath of spirit arose. Suddenly, winds swept across the wilds. All sounds resounded like sacred chants, echoing along the mountain's peaks, brushing lightly over the hidden veins of water. 5 senses, yeah. Okay. The jade held 9 hues. Again, with the 9-hued description we had in the Chroma Faces descriptions. And is that another thing? Kind of like the 7 emotions? Is this a color theory thing? Is there like 9 different hues of color and everything falls within those ranges or something? Or is it like jade itself has 9 hues of green? Standing alone in vastness, it bore the pure winds of antiquity, drawing in the quiet breath of distant realms, yet within heaven and earth, human smoke and worldly flavor seeped through. Human smoke, I don't even know what that means. In this boundless dream, complex emotions were first encountered. The newborn spirit, clear as a mirror lake, reflected the countless joys and sorrows of the human world. When horn tips drew dew, warmth and chill found their rhythm. When wind reached the ear, motion gained meaning. Cloud Shadow wrote poems, stone murmured verses, moss became scripture, orchid and sweetgrass spoke in scents, mountains and rivers unfurled like a scroll, with myriad forms of chapters. With awakened eyes, each detail was read in full. Whispers of her own kind drifted by, unspoken understanding flowed between spirits. Together they sensed the breath of heaven and earth, the shifts of wind and dew, their joys and griefs rising and falling with time. The wind carried delight. She set the forest leaves trembling. When the wind bore lament, she lowered the mist, and the mountains sat in solemn silence. So this was all just different aspects of creation, and the imbuement of emotion to the society, potentially? Interesting. As always, I'm gonna click this off a video, but I'm not gonna actually watch it because I don't want to be spoiled to, like, any story stuff or anything. Or characters that might show up in the background. It's a very minor thing. I don't think there's a problem watching this at all. And it does help you figure out how the abilities work. But I'm okay with just not watching those. I've never watched them. In one video, like a year ago, we opened it and we tried to click through it while it was paused. Was it like Tidal Tears or something I did that to? I don't remember. It was one... No. Or was it... Was it Timeless Melody? I did that once and it was really annoying. So I don't mess with it. This was a long, long process. Can I change clothes in this state, by the way? I forgot how to get up. I was sitting on that bench for the last 2.5 hours. I forgot how to stand. That's crazy. I want to change your name to Casual. Change your name to Event. And this is the outfit we're going to replace for the event thing. We've had this casual outfit. I think I made it in Encore Season 1.11. I do love this outfit, but I do really like the outfit I made last update, so I want that to be my new casual thing. I want to look at my new eyes. That's why I'm here. Where are you, eyes? It's like a flower. I'll remove my glasses. And where are you? There you are. Wow, that is such a... Oh! It has the Born Flawless effect. Where it's stuff coming out of the eye. I still, having done the entire story for, Land that's out at the time of this, assuming they didn't just release a new one. I've done the whole thing. I do not understand the implications of Born Flawless at all. I do not know what that outfit actually represents. Interesting. Because I thought initially we would figure that out during the main story of Land. But whatever that power is, I think you also have it. Let me compare the eyes by recent. See right here, you can see the effect is coming out of both eyes, and it's this crystal-y structure. So this, like, this is a flower more than a crystal, at least to me. But I could see an argument for it being crystal, too. Because this could be petals of the flower, and this is the solid eye. It has a little bit coming off it, but that might be my eyelashes, actually. Never mind, I don't have eyelashes on. Okay, that's crazy. I'm very glad I got those. Let's look at the shop next. There's a big thing in the shop. I assume this is a new, like, pass or something? Yeah, it's this thing. We have to actually look at the bottom of this, because they sometimes put equipment stuff here. So what? Everything's a, like, combat outfit. I think everything is for fighting. You're gonna punch people. That's what I look at you and I think. And, oh, there's 2 of them. Ooh. Momo is hitting a crazy pose here. I love that for you, Momo. Nice bag. We have a couple things that are like this. I want to see that top from the front. Where is it? Where are you? Here. Oh, it is just as good as I thought it would be. That's really good, actually. Pulled really cutely to the side. And, like, tucked up and tied up rather than just over. The back might be a little long for my taste. Is there a third one? These things have so many things. I never look at them. There's a pass on there. Big stand, like Ferris wheel. Cute. It's like a bed thing. I think the way these work is, I think it's spending. So I think maybe you buy this, or you spend that much? I don't know which it is. But, I think that's what these are. And what is this? Yeah, it's a shop, tied to it. We saw that last time. Oh, more like desert stuff. I do have the hood I really like from 1.11. Oh my goodness, you can't show me something that cute while I'm still thinking. You're gonna break my brain. Pulse of the Desert. I do like that a lot. The dress is similar to the Linlang Empire dress I showed before, where it's like very thin body cut, like sleek dress, but it's got a lot of detailing on it. And I do like, obviously, the top part that I talked about. Fine, I'm ready to look at this. Look at how cute she is. I think this is artist cat ears specifically. I'm not super 100% on that. Couldn't tell you which hair specifically it is. This might be a new outfit, because it looks very Santa coded. And I don't think I remember any being Santa coded before. Oh, Momo. This is going to be your outfit almost certainly for the new area. You have the silliest mustache. A child of wealth. And a meow dance. I need more Momo things for my camera, so I'll happily take that. Necklace? Carved jade necklace. Very, very long, which I normally say I don't like much. I'll take... It's actually in your hand. It's not on your wrist. That's crazy. It goes above your thumb. Okay, that's really unique. I will happily take that. I don't know if I'll ever use any of them, but I'm glad to have them. Triple bonus. I assume that's top-up bonus. Get our free thing here. Where do I click? That. I clicked the wrong button. I don't know what you are. Hat to match Momo. Can I get a mustache, please? Oh, a skin for the bow. That's pretty cool. Some makeup. Auspicious rattle. Is that, one of the drums you spin in your hand, and then it, hits? Yes, it is. I don't know what these are called. It's called a rattle drum. If I would have moved forward, I would have known. I like rattle drums. They're really cute. Oh, another thing I forget the name of, but it definitely has a name. The auspicious beast treads the firmament. It's not going to say in here, is it? It's not. These masks have a name. I've heard it before because of Gaming from Genshin. So I know what the term is. I just don't remember it right now. Pretty good. Pretty good. Very dark, too. Which is... The River of Delusion has no boat to cross. There's some edgy stuff going on there that I'm scared of. Oh, more of the mask stuff. Interesting. Okay, I gotta pay attention to this. I think a lot of people are gonna have this. Ooh, I love how cute this is here. I wonder how it's broken up. I can't see in here, I think. If I click this, it doesn't do anything. But, like, I assume this goes all the way up to here. It's not just across or something. But this is, I assume, outerwear. And I really like this outerwear. Where it's like the triangle that's like barely covering the shoulder. That's pretty fun. Oh, wait. Oh! Okay. Oh yeah, this is the thing you can't buy. I remember. It's, you buy the pass to get that, right? Yeah, monthly gifts? One of these menus has it. It's the thing where you like log in every day. And then you can buy this. It's like a salsa dress. Okay, this one I can look at, though. Oh my goodness, it's... What does this make me think of? I was gonna say chess, but that's not the right thing. Like, kind of. Not the right thing. It's... like a tower. It's like a tower feeling. This, like, architectural bottom. Which is interesting. And then there's like a rose center. It's such a weird choice that I think actually works kinda well. In like a weird way, too. I don't know, I kinda like this. I think it's pretty avant-garde of a design. So I think there's reasons you could say you didn't like it, but I'm a big fan. I especially, obviously, love this. I love this type of, like, fluttery... It's not a ribbon. I don't know what you call it. You see this a lot in, swimsuits. And I love them to death. They're the cutest swimsuits that exist. Where it has the little thing here that hangs up. Think of Miyako's swimsuit from Blue Archive. Things like that are amazing and adorable. So I love this with all my heart. What was the other color? White? Not bad. And this stuff... Oh, I was gonna say, like, orchestra, but that's a sword. That is crazy. Interesting material. Like, the undershirt looks pretty thick, and you have this over top. This is very cute. Like, pop idly, honestly. And this is the same stuff. Treasure. I think, is this the monthly thing? Is that what it's called? It doesn't say the name of it, but I think this is the thing where, like, you log in every day. I think that's what you needed to buy the 1 diamond thing. No new free things in here. It's just the 3 that are always here. This is the idly thing. This is our new sword fighter, which is crazy. Got our wings on, too, with the one-sided cape. That's pretty good. Were you here last time? Some of this stuff I feel like I've seen before, some I feel like I haven't. There's like 10 dresses this update that are like blue, cut across the chest, drop down sleek dresses. Insane veil. Maybe bigger than the 2.0 5-star, which is crazy. Oh, old-fashioned. You even got like a train on here. I'm loving it. Upper class, old-fashioned, traveling west on the train in America. Like, she's gonna go tag something, is what this is telling me. This is a, like, rebellious young adult woman who commits crimes, but not, like, super, super bad crimes. Just crimes that are, like, inconveniencing and annoying for people, and cause damage and minor injury. That's what this is giving me. And a winter outfit, which is adorable. I love the top. We have a couple things that are kind of similar to the outerwear here, but the dress itself I really like. Down here at the bottom, this fluff down here, very, very good fluff. Very nice. I'd be interested to see what it looks like underneath this. Can you check if you click this? Nope, that's that thing. To see how this goes, if it's like diagonal, if it covers the shoulder, if it goes down into the arm, because it looks like maybe it goes full sleeve. That's interesting to see. That's the same. Did I buy my monthly things? I did, so we're all good. That's just a top button. Revelation Crystal. I might regret that because I might need diamonds to buy something else somewhere, but for now, I'm doing it just so we can count. We have 380. I'm going to use half my pulls next episode. Let's check this. Oh. Interesting. Flows all the way down. That's a pretty good candle holder. Oh, I'm buying that. Can't stop me. Ooh, that's pretty good too. A lot of this stuff I might actually have to buy, but it's not going to be now. It's going to be when I finish my tea room, which means I'm going to have to pay full price for it. That's not good. Not many things, actually. More tea sets, some drapes, table. I'll buy the staircase. I'll be silly. Sure, give me the staircase. I'm gonna buy it. I'm pretty sure I'm never using it. I'm gonna buy it, though. I'll get the screen, too. I'm buying a lot of stuff here. Give me the lantern. Just one. Literally one. Because it'll be, like, on a table in a house. I think I'm fine not even buying the other lanterns. Railing is interesting. Times 10? I'll buy one. Just so I can test it and see if I want to buy more. Like I always say with that menu, I'm okay paying full price for some stuff if I find out later I really wanted it. But, I guess, let's double check that they didn't add the next set of things here. Wrong button. You're still fully locked. You guys. Okay, right here is something. Continue this Wanxiang Realm quest. Wanxiang. One day, someone will say it to me. It'll be 2 episodes from now, probably, when we meet someone who says it. This is probably the ability outfit. So, whatever the black and white thing that has fans in its preview art. Let's look at events now. Let's see it. Oh, there's Mr. Deer. Oh, and it's the red. I did see that it was red in the one of the preview images when we were looking at the outfit. Was it like the ability? No, it was the Deep Echoes used the red. So I assumed that that was going to be one of the like main themed colors. Unlocks in Mirrorland. You can't unlock stuff if you're in buildings or at your house. So we have to leave to go see what the real menu looks like. That is not the dress I thought it was. This looks very different to what I was like thinking from my far away view. Oh, it's this thing. I don't remember what it's the Moth outfit has something like this. The Moth outfit has this. Very silly. Obviously adorable. This is the thing from the shop I said was amazing. Okay, fine. I'll travel. Let's go. Let's go right here. The opposite bank's Shell Island. Let me take a sip of my drink. I can never say that it's going to be the longest episode of my channel because I had that like 6 to 7 hour video. But this is the second longest. I definitely took way too long getting stuff done.
Nikki, looks like you got a message on your pair pal. Let's see what it says.
It's a message from Tanyoyo.
Oh! I was not ready for a Tanyoyo start for an event. I know he was in Encore season. We got to talk to him again. But he hasn't done anything in the story really at all since we met him. New update, here we go. Oh! Full Lantern. This is... Isn't this artist cat body? Is that what the artist cat arms look like? I think maybe they're just dyed and that's why I'm not recognizing it. This is, I think, new hair. Is this... No, this is not the 4-star in the banner right now because it doesn't cup the face like that. 1 second.
Of the soil.
That doesn't cup the face like that. That doesn't cup the face like that. No, this is just a... Like I said at the start of the episode, I can't tell a lot of this Linlang Empire clothing apart. There you got a good view of why. The hair tied up is very similar to the other ones, and I can't remember which is which. Which is becoming more true for all outfits and all pieces as the game goes. Because the game had like 1,000 pieces when it came out, now it has like 5,000 or something stupid. Which, again, I'm happy because it helps me make outfits, but remembering where each piece is from is getting harder every day. I feel like this is new. I feel like I haven't seen this before. It's possible this is the deep echoes of one of the Danqing Island 4-stars. I would believe you if you told me that. But very cute. And I am also excited.
The wind here
I wonder
carries
why...
so many different scents. You can only find moments like this in Itzaland.
Why did both of us come to this spot here to start the event? Are we just, same wavelength girlies? Or is it finally gonna come true? Is this 2.1 event gonna actually be the 2.2 event? Or the 2.3 event, or the 2.4 event? One day it'll happen, trust me. Believe in me. Okay, we're here for real. Let's see what the event page actually looks like. So we got the login gift already. New story. Oh, got the rattle drum. Same dress as the login thing. Prologue 2 acts. More moon symbolism. What a weird perspective. I like it. This is so far in the back, but it looks like it's leaning forward, so she's actually under it here. But it's hard to tell. And this is the koi dress is what I called it. Which I will get if I pull, right? Because it's the same banner. I'm gonna love having that. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. I'm almost certainly pulling next episode for one copy. Let's do collect first. Last time I think we did fun to play first. So this is the one we saw just now, which is an ability outfit, I think. Peach for Momo, whimsicality. Excuse me? A peach for Momo, soft and sweet, a meow and thanks. The heart is pleased. Cravings gone, a happy bite. Faithful to Momo, faithful to the treat. That did not flow the way I thought it would. So this is not the black and white photo from the preview image. It's just another dress that has black and white on it. So it's probably Lady Chroma related, because I guess all her stuff aesthetically is black and white. Interesting bag. It's got the fluffy handle. I don't hate that. This, I can't say I hate, but it's doing things to my brain that I don't think I like. Having it be open, and then, I guess, I don't know. It's fun. My brain, I can't tell if I love or hate it, though. I think this is full leg I'm seeing here. Can I turn? Yeah, it is leg. So that's really high cut. Wow. And then this comes up a little bit. Cute design. Very cute hair. And we'll get it eventually. Oh, I should check the other colors. A yellow with a blue highlight is interesting. I don't know how I feel about the blue highlight. I don't exactly hate the yellow. I'd want lighter hair probably, but I'm not sure. Orange. That see-through hat is funny. I don't know if I like that either. I think that one I lean more towards no. This I'm like in the middle ground, but it's funny. I have a couple hats that are actually see-through like that. I don't know. I love this section of the overcoat. This section makes it so I might never be able to use it, though. The base dress I could probably use, depending on how the top looks. If the top is really blocky and ugly, I can just throw a outerwear on it that's different. But this part I do kind of like. Socks are interesting. They feel like they don't match the dress as well, but I think they're just good on their own, so you don't technically have to. And what is this? This is our whim lanterns. I swear there was... We have to go look at what that thing collects. Oh my goodness, the gifties are back. I swear the gifties haven't been here in a couple updates. What did you collect, Miss Shapeshifter? I'm sorry, I clicked that way too fast. What is an ethereal star? Can you please tell me what an ethereal star is? I thought that was just what the whim things would be called. Fun to play. 4 big missions. 7, is it? Tiny missions, which might be... Is this food? Because I'm looking here. Why is it like one chair that's not the correct size for you in front of like a boiling pot of soup? Or this is a turbine that's like generating power. I can't tell. We're going to find out though. Wow, there is 6 things here. Same shop 1. Prepare a private hot pot. Oh, it's a hot pot thing. Okay. Classic broth. Interesting. The hot pot rescue. Oh no. Someone fall in? Please no. Hot pot rescue for this too. So hot pot rescue is probably like the prologue or chapter 1 or something? I guess it's possible that the main story is about hot pot, but we'll see. I'd kind of like if it is the more lighthearted one because it's a festival. But I don't hate the darker stories, so if they're going to do something crazy again, I'll let them. I guess I should read the descriptions for the stuff that has it. When ingredients meet the broth, nothing else compares. Fragrant, sweet, tangy, and fiery. Every flavor comes together for all to enjoy. One of the trickiest questions in a Chroma Face's life. What to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why not pay a visit to Shi Lao Tao? Shi Lao Tao is how I think that's going to be. Lao Tao. And play a round of the thrilling flavor Frenzy. It'll warm your body and whet your appetite at the same time. Have I ever seen someone write out whet your appetite? I wouldn't have spelled it like that because I am not smart. But more food. Oh my goodness. This is all our ingredients. Please. Please be real Mahjong. I only know the rules for Riichi Mahjong. I'll have to learn the rules for this, because this is probably not Riichi, it's just normal Mahjong. Please let us play Mahjong. Ease your worries with Mahjong. 3 playful modes, non-stop tile clatter, and endless fortunes. Let the joy roll on. How mad would you be if I prioritized unlocking this over the main story? I can't justify it, I want to. I don't know if it's actually going to be, like, real full Mahjong games. I wish it was. But yeah, like I said, I play Riichi Mahjong. I love it. But I don't know, like, the more traditional Chinese Mahjong rule sets. Unlocks at Chapter 1 of main quest. In the Wanxiang Realm, even a moment of leisure brings delight. Slow down and explore must-play experiences curated by Wanxiang News. I don't know what these are. They're minigames, I assume, of some variety. Are they permanent? That says limited time rewards. Mahjong's permanent. We're playing Mahjong. How do you pronounce Mahjong seriously? I've always called it Mahjong. Is it Mahjong? Is it Mahjong? Maybe. That's probably something I should look up. I just say Mahjong. Stylists? Probably stylists. Yeah, the pictures here, stylists. I wonder what these mean. Name, occupation, location? Maybe? I should double check what all's permanent and what's not. These shouldn't be permanent. Excuse me, the gifties are permanent because it's like a special location? That's crazy. I wonder if that's true for Danqing. Are the gifties permanent there? These quests are permanent, which makes sense. The full quest being permanent. Hot Pot being permanent makes sense. Everything in this event is permanent, which is, again, it's reasonable because of the location stuff. Current adventures. I am... That is so pretty. Where did I rank this color? I think I ranked it lowly because this top part was very bright. I think this lighting does this dress a lot. The default thing in here doesn't. And I have mentioned before, dresses look way different out in the real world compared to in here. But this was not as close to the rest of the stuff, and I didn't like it as much. But in this menu, I'm really liking it. So that's a big one. Very cute Momo here. Great photo collages and customized scenes with brand new photo features to capture unforgettable moments across Mirrorland. Well, we'll read the patch notes in a second because we're almost done. This is our final menu, and then we'll read patch notes. Not all of them. We'll skim them because I don't want to get spoiled. So the pursuit, I won't do those, but I'll look at the shop. Any new permanents? No. But let's buy all this. Clear rainbow. More white and not black, but red this time. Pretty good. I still don't know exactly what I'm going to use for my outfit. It might be the 4-star on the banner for my event outfit. I just haven't decided yet. Oh, and white over here, too, with the ruffling. Fortune follows. I thought they were going to play rock, paper, scissors. I don't actually know what they were doing there. How are you? Oh. Like brushing something out of her hair? Shy about it? I don't know. Wishing wealth. Can I get that from Momo? He needs that pose. Elegant debut. Oh, okay. I don't know how useful it is. Obviously, good dance and very traditional dance. I expect to actually see that motion in the main quest. I expect Nikki to do that. Like a prom flower. Oh, and other side butterfly. That's really cute. I might be able to use that pretty easily. Some white shoes and black shoes. More butterfly theming. Flats as well. Very good. I need less heals, please. Please. Pretty normal. These look very not normal. That's a little crazy. Usable in some hardcore outfits, though. Am I getting all the pop-ups because there's the Whim Star right here in this chest? If it makes you happy, Momo, I'll grab this. This isn't supposed to be an exploring episode. I'm gonna have to fight all these guys. I see what you're making me do right now, Momo. How many are you? I just want you to stop making the little clicking noise every time I stand on this pier, because it is a very nice pier. So I want to be able to experience it properly. I am on my home set. I haven't used Timeless Melody in so long. It's actually weird to fight monsters this powerful with Timeless Melody. You guys are going to be hard to beat. You have shields and stuff nowadays. I was surprised when the ability started because I wasn't expecting it. But, at least last time I checked, you can't harvest the tree at your house using archery. That's why for my house set, which is what I'm using right now, because there's my meteor collector.
I can't help but...
I still use Timeless Melody. Okay, now Momo will calm down, and we can stand over here without him yelling at us. Back to our event page. This is the shop stuff. This is our dying thing. I love to see this. I've never run out of dyes, although I've come close. But this event is the reason why. Here's the black and white outfit, which I assume we're going to unlock in the Heart of Infinity. Discord, Twitch drops. Sadly, I will miss those because I don't watch the live streams because I try to experience things as blind as I can.
Sunny day.
Something in the mail? Just maintenance stuff. I'll take it. And now, let us find whatever thing it is. Is this the one that has all the update stuff? Is this? I think so. So, we're going to scroll through this to see things that jump out that are important. Allison's coming back. Nope, that's Allison ending. This is the update notice. Okay. Pre-download, new region, realm, a bunch of things I'm not going to read, new ability, outfit, a new bow, which we saw in the shop. But there might be another new bow, so I don't want to read it. That might just be talking about the shop one. It was a long section, so it's probably just describing the ability of it. New S-lings, obviously, I assume. New animals, probably. Makes sense. New permanent quest. Permanent stuff. Features Flavor Frenzy, I assume is the name of the hot pot. Time to collect things. The gifties. Limited time check-in. That's just a daily thing. Rainbow colored gift. Complete dying quest. Okay, that's the dying quest. I didn't look at the name of it. Starlight Pursuits. Deep Breakthrough. Limited time resonance. Scroll down here. Limited time resonance. We can scroll down here. The store stuff. Fortune arrives. It's the Momo thing. The bonus thing. Purchasing boxes. Okay, those outfits might have been reruns we looked at earlier. That's why some of them looked familiar. So I think it's 2 new ones and 4 reruns. Cumulative top-up. New phase of Mirror Journey. The Pinnacle Contest. Realm of Eureka. There's no battle one, right? Yeah, it's just the normal stuff. I didn't know they did effects like this. I guess it makes sense. Lena's Lens Lab. We haven't been there in a while. We should go. Okay. After version 2.0, following animals in Itzaland can be invited to your home. Okay, okay, crazy. Terrafloof. Following plants can be grown. Okay, I gotta go start growing them. Following fish can be raised. Okay. Oh, the reduced load on some stuff. Very nice. I need more load in general. Wow, okay. Decorations got nuked down load values. Love it. I need that desperately. My house is going to be a billion load. Collage poster feature to Momo's album. Oh, I know what they're saying with the album. Um, Framed in his stuff. Some more handheld stuff. This is, I think, retroactive. They're just going back and giving you all the items. Yeah, same with this. Just all retroactive stuff. Bow customization. I don't use a bow, though. Wanxiang Realm Garden of Eternal Daylight will be added to Starlit Moments. Well, I guess we're going to teleport to the Sea of Stars, because is that where we enter the realm? I'm going to check that before the episode ends, because I have to do my dailies. A bunch of issues. Okay. The final thing we have to do, I guess, is we're going to teleport to the Sea of Stars. Does it look any different? No. I just want to make sure when I go here to do my dailies,
Let's check out what the shroomlings are doing.
I'm not going to do my dailies today. I'm not risking it. I might have just misread that. Let me double check. Because maybe it's a boat you take to get there. Where are you? Sea of Stars. From February 6th to March 2nd. Tasks from the Garden of Eternal Daylight will be added to Starlit Moments. Okay, never mind, that doesn't start for 7 days. I can do my dailies today. So I'll update my game after I'm done recording here. This was a over 3-hour episode, which I believe makes the second longest I've ever done. This was not planned at all. I expected this episode to be an hour long because I, as I talked about multiple times, know so little about Chinese clothing that I assumed I wouldn't be able to talk about them at all. But I still just yapped on and on, so I'll take it. I am, if you can't tell, very excited for this event. I think Danqing Island...
It's morning already. Let's kick off today's adventure with vim and vigor.
Is Danqing Island my favorite update? I don't know. I do have some bias against it because if you weren't there for it, I was struggling to get those videos out. I was the sickest I've ever been, maybe, in my life. Right when Danqing hit. And it was not fun to try to record all that at the same time. My body exploded. I really like fireworks season, actually. Fireworks season... Honorable mention for Blue Tears, Danqing, and Encore. Encore was really fun and had great things to it, but I think Danqing was my favorite update of Wishfield. I'll give it Wishfield favorite update. And Itzaland, it's complicated, because Itzaland itself is my favorite area in the game. But for, like, event stuff, Danqing's my favorite. And Fireworks is close second. But I really like Danqing Island. I'm going into this with pretty high expectations, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be more minigame and comedy, like lighthearted focused, than the Danqing Island was. And like maybe that'll make it better for me, maybe that'll make it worse. We're gonna have to wait and see. But finally, for now, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Bye.